Perfect.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies in the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Payton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Well, look, today was a padded day scheduled, so we went helmets and shoulder pads. Yeah, we just changed it up by going inside. Tomorrow we'll be back outside. We'll do that periodically. And, we were still on an hour and a half time slot with today's schedule.
Sean, now that you guys have kind of worked with Deontay a little bit, had a year with him, and now you're working him into the offense a little bit more, what have you seen from him so far? Do you see him developing in that receiver role?
Yeah, look, I think to his credit, he's been ready for more and more, and every time we've added a little bit more to his plate, he's handled it pretty well relative to the route tree, and so we're trying to keep finding roles for him because he does so many things well. But I think that began to happen last year, and after looking at the tape, it certainly will be something we focus on in this camp and then heading into the season.
Hey, Sean, after day 2, do you feel like Benny Fowler is starting to grasp this offense? Or just what have you seen from him that you maybe liked?
Well, look, he's a smart veteran player. I think there's a physicality to how he plays. I think he can help us in the kicking game. I think he's a guy that that can block on the perimeter, and I think he understands who he is and what he has to do to make the team. And those are a few areas that he's going to have to excel in.
Sean, with Davenport coming back off the injury, how have you seen him progressing so far?
I think, he had a good off season. He was here with with rehab. I like how he's put together right now. His weight's up, and I think his strength is up. So, so far so good in this camp. I think he certainly understands the defense now, and just putting practices together like he's doing and working on his technique. But it's good to have him back out there.
When you say his weight, so was that kind of a gradual increase you guys wanted to see? I mean, not to add too much to him too soon.
Yeah, I think so. We're comfortable enough to where he's still, playing with the speed we want, and yet strong enough to handle what comes his way relative to the run game and certain protections.
What did you see from Ethan Wolf that made you want to bring him in?
Well, look, he gives us some additional depth there. He's a strong player. We look at him more as like an inline tight end who can play on the line of scrimmage and block. He's had some pretty decent preseason snaps that we've seen. And so it gives us a chance really to look at what we think might be a developmental blocking tight end that can also do some things in the passing game.
Sean, if one Davenport a guy that you think has enough level that can quite elevate, and it's a guy maybe that you're counting on elevate his level this year?
You were breaking up just a little bit. Try that again. Yeah.
I apologize. Is Marcus Davenport a guy that has another level he can go up? And is he maybe a guy that you're counting on to advance a level in his performance this season?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Look, we've seen we've seen improvement in how he's played, and we've seen not just flashes, but we've seen production. And with someone like him staying healthy and being out there, we're a much better defense.
Coach, versatility seems like something that this team is really kind of putting a focus on. Can you speak about what you've been seeing out of Ty Montgomery in practices?
Yeah, look, he's gotten a lot of the work and his reps with the running back position. Certainly we can move him outside, and he's one of those players that does have versatility. I think he's a guy that understands the passing game well, and he's also got a pretty good burst relative to handling the football and the running game. I thought he had a good practice today. So there are some things that, from a flexibility standpoint, he's a unique player, and we'll try to take advantage of those things.
That's Coach Sean Payton chiming in on his thoughts on the camp. Who that to the Black and Gold family members in the building. Much love to the Sports Coma family, the great Saint Dank, man. And also all the rest of the Who Dat Nation in the building as well. Sorry we had a little technical difficulties earlier, fam. I had to fight through them, reset a few times. But we are back online. We running good, man. Uncle Paulie in the building. Good to see him as well. School, True Louisiana, Lee Wood, Torrey Shepard Sr., True Blewett. Let's see. Lee Wood says his tropical depression here over Philippines. Hope Lake Charles home and Louisiana is okay. Amber alert issue for Goodell Spine. Who that to the family members? Dominic Evans as well. Good to see you. Freddie Harris in the building. Good to see you, Freddie. JT, what you say, JT? Sufayan chiming in from Paris. So we got Lee and Sufayan, our international family, chiming in. Welcome to the family as well. William Dickerson, who that to you? Byron, who that to you, Byron? Good to see you, fam. I ain't seen you in the chat in a little bit. Good to see you in there. Jeremiah, appreciate you, Jeremiah Smith, who that to you as well, family. Much love, and God bless you too, family. I appreciate those sentiments. John Thompson, who that to you? Joe Gidry, what up, Joe? How you doing, fam? So good to see the great Saint Tank family chiming in. Who Dat Nation, please hit the like button as we proceed through this one. We're going to get through the rest of our interviews. As you heard, Coach Payton chiming in on his thoughts, the new acquisition of the tight end, Ethan Wolf, who, we see nothing more as a depth piece, perhaps. And outside of that, many thoughts, Davenport and the like. So it's interesting. Things are flowing pretty well up to par. We just got to keep everybody healthy. We know about Andrus. We know about Josh Hill with the tweak situation. Everybody just got to stay healthy, and we're going to keep moving this thing. Now we're going to move on to the next interview, and that's Moses. Not Moses. That's Demario Davis.
We're going to tune up Mario and see what he had to say about camp. Here he is.
Questions for Mike Triplett. Mike?
Hey, Demario. Ask you about Malcolm Jenkins. I know you've worked closely with him in the Players Coalition. Did you know him at all before that? And what has impressed you about how dedicated he is to all the things?
Well, yeah, I've worked with Malcolm on several things since I came in the league. Being a part of NFLPA together, being a part of the coalition together, a little bit after it was formed. So we've had an opportunity to work together in several spaces. Always been able to respect his game from afar. So having him in the locker room has just been wonderful. We've already linked up on a couple of ideas and projects that we want to get involved in off the field. It's been great having his leadership and his experience on the field. You can just already tell just in some of the conversations we're able to have after plays about what we saw and able to see the things the same way. So when you got guys that have experience, it doesn't matter when they come from other teams. They've seen so many of the same set, same formation, same type of plays, and know how to look at the game from a format standpoint, or looking at some of the different formations, tendencies, concepts, and just having a understanding of it that you can kind of have conversations that you can't necessarily have.
Next question from John DeShazer. JD?
Demario, we heard Alvin kind of gushing about your study habits and your ability to kind of call things out for an opposing offense. When did you know how vital studying was going to be for you, and how much more of it do you do now than when you were younger?
I was fortunate to come in with some great coaches and some great players. I was drafted by Rex Ryan, and him and Dennis Thurman, taught me a lot about breaking down film and understanding opponents. But I also had the opportunity to play with great guys like David Harris, Antonio Cromartie, Darrell Reeves. And so watching those guys, that was something even when I was a young guy that I wanted to grow in my game and my study habits. I knew it would help me become a better player. And then fortunately, in my third season, I had the opportunity to play with Ed Reed, and we formed a relationship, not just on the field, but off the field. So in the off season, I was able to spend a lot of off seasons with him, picking his brain on how he studied for opponents, and learn how to look at formations, tendencies, read quarterbacks, read alignment, and that just helped me continue to grow in my study habits. And that's something I take so serious that I don't even think now that I've even begun to break through the cusp of what I can learn. I was even picking his brain a lot this off season and just taking a deeper dive into how he studied tape, and I think it's just helped me tremendously.
How much of a day for you can it consume?
It's different. Right now, of course, it's training camp, so it's not as much study as it is just individual techniques. I'm not really studying our offense. I'm just looking at myself and things and areas I can grow in, and still trying to perfect my game and my craft. And as you get into the season, the different teams take different amounts of study. It's all about just getting to a point where you feel comfortable.
Next question is from Catherine Terrell.
Hey, Demario, I have two questions. I was wondering, first of all, were they giving you a breather at all today? It seems like they're subbing in other linebackers a lot.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Hey, I was wondering, were they giving you a lighter snap count today? It seems like they're subbing in other linebackers a lot.
Oh, no, I mean, our coaches, they do the rotation, how they want to. Of course, we got 80 guys right now, so,
right.
They rotate. That's on the coaches.
My other question was just how has Zach Bond been able to handle dropping into coverage, and are there any certain things you've worked with him on to try to help him along?
Yeah, I think when you have young guys come in that you want to see and have the ability to contribute early on, it's about trying to keep the game simple for him. He has a lot to be able to try to diagnose. It's a lot asked about linebackers here. But what I try to help him is, just keeping the game real simple. Some areas that he has to focus on a little bit more, than others. You know, it's not necessarily about grabbing the whole playbook. It's just understanding, you know, what's the one role that they're asking you to come in and play right now, and locking in on that and keeping the game simple. So for young guys, if they can keep the game small their first year, and then their second year grow it a little bit more, their third year grow, that's how you prevent from stunting their growth. You see, you know, young guys like Chauncey Gardner or C.D. Deuce have good success because he was able to keep the game small and simple in his first year, and now he's able to expand his mind and grow. And so I think if Zach can do that, and some of our younger guys can do that, they'll have that same amount of success.
That was really good for Demario Davis. The way you broke that down was really intricate, by the way. That was really good move. Who that to the family members chiming in? Who that to you, Derek? Good to see you as well, family. Welcome into the live stream, my family. Appreciate y'all. Please hit the like button. Going through several of our interviews. We had Sean Payton next up to bat. We'll then play the new wide receiver who will make his Sports Coma debut, Benny Fowler. This is Demario Davis going on his thought process over the camp. Various topics. The last one, of course, dealing with Zach Bowen and how the rookie's supposed to kind of keep the game small and grow it each. And I love that mentality. That is a really good way of explaining it. And perhaps somebody should explain it to Traquan Smith and members of the other young guys who are struggling right now. But that's what Emmanuel Sanders is there for. That's what Malcolm Jenkins is there for. And guys like Demario Davis, he's a guy that also helps a lot in big-time ways. All right, family, let's move to the next one. And this will be Benny Fowler, the new Saint. We had an opportunity to hear from Nigel Bradham a few days ago. Now here's Benny Fowler, man. A lot of people don't see Benny as a guy that will stick and stay with the team. And I have to tell you something, man. This guy is a several-year veteran. He's won a Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos. He's a member and a friend of Emmanuel Sanders. I don't know if he would have made the team if it wasn't for that relationship. He was at the right place at the right time. So Fowler's here. He has good speed, really good speed. He's a veteran. He's crafty. He's intelligent. The guy's a motivational speaker and a book. He's a book writer, a bestseller. So I mean, that's a lot to say. But let's see what Benny Fowler has to say about camp.
Of Drew, when you guys first started working out in Denver, and how has that translated to training camp now?
My first impression was that, you know, he was a pro, and I was very excited just to have the opportunity to work out with him. You know, another player kind of asked him and Emmanuel, like, hey, you guys need, 5-10 minutes to get ready? And Drew was, no, I probably need 25-30. And he went through his actual, pregame warm-up, and I thought that was very impressive just in terms of the fact that he treats everything like a game and just his attention to detail.
Next question is for Amy Just.
Yeah, with that workout, you know, what was it like to, you know, catch passes from him? And now apparently he was a bit, really instrumental in getting you here. A guy like Drew Brees, future Hall of Famer, really wanted you here. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel really good. It makes me feel like all my hard work and dedication has paid off. Playing with guys like Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, you know, I played with both of the Manning brothers for 2 years apiece, winning the Super Bowl, and just, you know, I'm all about team first, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make this team, and then whatever my role is on the team is to perfect that role. And for Drew to vouch for me like that, it really means a lot, just because he is a Hall of Fame quarterback, but he's a Hall of Fame person as well, and I just really appreciate, you know, him going out of his way to help me get here.
Next question is from Mike Triplett. Mike?
Benny, how much of your game would you say is being a proficient blocker? Is that something that you do because receivers need to be okay at it, or is it a specialty of yours?
I think it's a specialty to me playing in the Big Ten, you know, blocking for backs like Le'Veon Bell, playing with Kirk Cousins and things like that. You know, playing in the Big Ten, it's always about blocking for the running back first. We do run a lot just because it is cold up north. And that's one of the ways I made the team in Denver, was having to block and, you know, do some of the dirty work. And that's exactly what I'm going to bring to this team is, you know, whatever, doing the little things and blocking and making sure that whatever impact I can make on this team, I will make.
Next question is for Rod Walker. Rod?
Hey, Benny, I'm not sure how many receivers have played with both Mannings and Brees, and I guess you had a little time with Brady.
Yeah.
how are those guys sort of similar, and what are some differences in those guys?
I think the fact that I've gotten to play with all four of those guys, both Mannings, Tom Brady, and Breeze, they both have attention to detail. Their attention to detail, and they just notice the small things, but it's about being in the right spot. And it's all about cohesion, and it's all about, just winning. At the end of the day, that's what I take away from all of those guys. They all just want to win, and they're all different in certain ways and the way they throw the ball. But one of the biggest things that they all do is that their attention to detail is so great and it's so fine-tuned.
That's really interesting about Benny Fowler. I was watching this interview a little earlier today. I didn't get a chance to catch it live, but I did get an opportunity to watch it. And I heard from Benny Fowler, and that is, I don't know too many people that had the opportunity to do what this guy has done in terms of playing with both Mannings, both Payton and Eli, as well as Tom Brady and Drew Brees. I mean, those are, some people would say, well, three of the four will more than likely be, some of the top quarterbacks that ever to do this. And then, of course, you could say Eli is in the top 15, perhaps, in terms of quarterbacks. He'll probably be placed a little lower, but he is a double Super Bowl winning quarterback and with the New York Giants. But Benny Fowler, man, says that attention to detail, and I think that's really super uber imperative that a guy like this, and this guy's going to be a help, man. I really do think that this guy is going to help out in a major level, to be honest with you. I really do think so. I think it's really good we have Benny Fowler here. When we first found out, we had to do some research on old Benny and find out where he come from, and I was able to kind of eat up the film on Benny and come back and find some stuff. And then we had some contributors, Arthur Rooks, and a few other people from the WhoDatDaily.com was able to drop some pretty good information on these guys, and we were able to put some stuff together on them. So really interesting, man, and good to hear from Benny Fowler, Demario Davis, and, of course, Coach Sean Payton on their thoughts of camp. So welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense entertainment, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. Of course, I'm Big Q, and I'd like to welcome all of you guys. Welcome to the TSC today. And this is Saints Camp Day 2 updates and news. That's what we're going to do today on this one. We played several interviews. We got our interviews out the way. And then momentarily, we're going to go over what happened at camp. I'm going to go through the chat, questions, concerns, comments from the family members as well. So JT says, Q, I've been looking at some old tape with special teams, and I'm seeing why the Saints picked up Fowler. He's a good blocker. Yeah, 5, 15, 10, and Josh will get cut. Well, I don't know, bro. I don't know. He got the scissors there. We going to bring out the scissors, man, when it's cutting time. I don't know, man. We'll see how it shake. It could be a lot going on here, and we'll be able to see exactly what it is. But appreciate the comment, JT. He is a good blocker. I watched that on his college footage, like he said. I went back and looked at him in college, and he has a lot of tape because he's a journeyman. He's bounced around, but interesting seeing him block. So thank you for that, JT. Who that to you? Who that to you, Crass? I see my dog Crass chiming in the building as well. Good to see you as well. Big ups to you, Derek, as well. My family. Also, let's see, Kevin says Mad just opened up pre-orders for Mad 21Q. I heard, bro. My son let me know. Tim, thank you for your super chat, my fam. Tim says after Fowler's interview, he's already my third favorite receiver for the Saints. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate your super chat, my friend. Much love to you as well. Thank you. Jeremiah says, I like that hat you got on. Thank you, Jeremiah. You can get it, my man, at the Pro Shop, brother. The link is in the description section below. The second link is 2 merch links there, merch 1, merch 2. One of the merch 2 is the hats, and we have several designs on the hats. One of my favorite, of course, I love the camouflage deal, but there is a solid black as well, and they have several different colors and several different styles. You can check them out. There's also the Drew Orleans, the other Drew hat as well, and we're going to continue to roll out some more merch. So if you're interested, my brother, feel free to go to the link in the description section below and get you one, baby. But like I said, it's really nice. This is not a paint stamp. This is embroidered, man, and it's really nice, really durable. Comes with the PRO Media Network patch on the side. Get you one. And rock it, take a picture, send it to us at our email at promedianetwork@gmail.com, and I'll have the team members put it up in the community section of the page. And that goes for anybody who rocking the Pro Media Network or the Pro Gear. If you send us a picture of it, we will post your picture in the community section of the page. And also, we would start doing like a gallery of sorts where we'll show some of our family members, our sports coma, who that family members rocking their sports coma gear and the pro gear. So check that out, family. We will do that. Crash says, who that you think Josh Hill gets cut in 2020? I don't see it next year, possibly, but not this season. I think Josh Hill's very important to what the Saints are kind of do. He is really the journaling middleman between the tight end position, if you know what I mean. You have Jared Cook there, and you would expect Jared to stay healthy. But, I mean, last year, Jared was in and out of that lineup, man. He was in and out of that lineup, y'all know, and I know he was as well. So if the thing is, he has to stay healthy, but just in case he doesn't stay healthy, there is always the chance that Josh Hill, I have absolutely no qualms about it. When Josh Hill comes in, you know, if Jared Cook is missing or what have you, you bring in Josh Hill, man, I'm fine with that because I trust him. At first, not so much because not his defense, I'm thinking basketball, but his blocking wasn't that good. And all of a sudden, he started working on that blocking. And if you watch several years of footage, he has some of the best clear-out blocks that you can imagine. You know, and he started taking that to heart. Then he became a complete tight end. But about time he put it together, the Saints have already had looked past him and has basically, their mentality was that this guy is going to be not the tight end, because they tried that right after Ben Watson was here the first go around. They thought that Josh could step up. He couldn't do it. He didn't season. His role was more of the backup guy or the second tight end. He's perfect at that role. The Saints trust him. Drew, Sean, all of them trusted in that situation. And besides, if you go behind him, you have nothing but young guys. And Garrett Griffin is there. I don't necessarily trust Garrett Griffin because he's like some of these other guys that have potential, but they never make it. You know, guys like Trey Hendrickson who can't fulfill a season, and more of that ilk, those type of guys. But Josh Hill is the perfect guy behind Cook. If Cook goes down, Hill goes in, and then you have the younger guys behind him like the Adam Troutmans and the Stevens and all that kind of stuff. So I think he'll be pivotal, and hopefully he'll be back soon. They said he had a tweak there. Hopefully the tweak can, you know, they saying it might be small, but that could be problematic if you think about it. You know, hopefully he'll be back up and running again. So I appreciate the comments there as well, family. Derek says, Big Q, is Benny Fowler standing hot? Is Benny Fowler standing out a hot take? He says, is he standing out a hot fire take? I'm not sure if I understand that question, Derek. What I'm getting from that question is, do you thinking that his take is fire? Is that what you mean by that? If that's indeed what you're asking, I do like his take in that interview. I've listened to him in several other interviews when he wasn't here from other teams. It's just to see what he sounds like, where his head's at. But I knew already this fellow was a very sharp person because of some of the things he do. It's not everybody can write a book. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody. You know, it takes a great degree of organization of mind. It's not about just getting the facts together. It's also putting everything in your mind that's sometimes all over the place into order, and then, you know, categorize it, place it into the book where people can get the most out of it. Not too many people can write a book. It's a very intricate thing. But he was able to write one and write a bestseller. He's also a motivational speaker. He went through the NFL, which has a program that teaches you to be a motivational speaker. He excels at that as well. I've seen some of his in motivation things, and it's no big thing why he's on this team. Drew Brees and that guy thinks a lot. And I'm saying in terms of the mentality, like I've talked about in prior podcasts, people don't broach this type of subject when we talk about the mind, because I'm a big fan of the mind, man. I think that if you can understand your mind and how it works, and then you can understand, you know, how societies work, is because that's where a lot of this is coming from. So, I mean, but if you look at a guy like Drew Brees, who has made my long-lasting impression of Drew, besides the fact that he's a champion and pretty much good at a lot of things that he do, simply because he takes the necessary, not only physical energy, but the mental and spiritual energy to put into it the right way. There is a routine, there is a process, that he has that you can apply to everything and have success at everything. And I think that he found that relatively early, where most have struggled. He's found that early, and that process has helped him to become a champion at life. So I think that says a lot. And that kid there, Benny Fowler, is a dude that has that same mentality, because he, in many respects, have done a lot of terrific things in his life. Despite the fact he a backup ass wide receiver throughout the league, he, this is a tough sport to catch on, but he was able to do it. You know what I'm saying? To get it. But it's not by bare chance. It's not chance that you end up where you are. You know what I'm saying, fam? And I'm not gonna get back to football, excuse me. But people got to understand that when you talk about football, and I talk about football, and I talk about the mind, I talk about the life, I'm talking about the same damn thing. You know what I'm saying? It's deeper than football insofar as that if you don't have the other stuff above it, you can't excel at it. That's why you see so many people who don't make it. But this Benny Fowler kid was able to keep staying in the league and keep being productive in things like who played and had an opportunity in the NFL to play with both Manning brothers. He won a championship, by the way. He played with both Manning brothers, Tom Brady and Drew Brees. How do you do that? I don't know too many people that play with all those guys, but it got to be at least maybe 2 or 3 individuals in the world that did that, maybe a dozen or so in the entire world, that can say they had 4 that had an opportunity to play as a wide receiver to those 4 quarterbacks, and all of them have a high degree of mental mind matrix, But anyway, let's move on here. Jay Giggity, good to see you in the chat, family. Big ups to you. GM Kev said the Cowboys got Dontarius Poe. Yeah, they had Dontarius Poe. They've been signed him in the offseason, and he I think he was hurt, and I heard he was hurt, and they activated him. So he's a good backup option for losing Gerald McCoy. McCoy is a good, but Dontarius Poe was one of the most dominant interior defensive linemen that we've ever seen. But he's not that guy anymore. He had several injuries, but he is a good option to fall back for the Cowboys. So yes, they do have him. All right, let's keep it going here. Who that to you? I see you, superstar Louisiana boy as well. Let's see who else we got here. Derek says Ken Crawley before you walk was cut by the Raiders. Well, the good news is Ken Crawley will crawly his way into somewhere else and play for somebody else. Trust me, a young cornerback like him would make it somewhere. And that's the thing I always said about these guys. Listen, man, if you want to stick and stay with the team, it don't matter what position you are. But if you're a guy, focus on seriously look at yourself like somebody that wants success. Like people right out there won't be successful, but are you willing to put in the work to do what needs to be done? A lot of people admire Drew Brees, but do we all have those characteristics? We all do. Drew doesn't have nothing more that the good Lord didn't give you. We all were given the same things. But are you willing to do the work to develop those characteristics into things that'll take you into the highest stratospheres of life? That's where so many fall short at. And that, as far as the Ken Crawley is concerned, take account of yourself. Look at your fallings, your failings. Look at the footage on yourself like I did and so many others. Say, well, Q, what's my problem? If Ken Crawley says, Q, what's my problem, bro? Why the Saints saying, Q? Well, number one is his confidence fell through the floor, and most of the young guys deal with that, and you have to take the criticism as constructive. It doesn't become destructive or, it doesn't tear you down unless you allow it to. Like if somebody's saying stuff about you that that's not your makeup or not who you are, then you can discount that. You can look beyond that, But if you hear something like, damn, that sounds just like me, then take it to heart and use it as constructive criticism to fix those inner failings. And usually that's up here. What am I doing wrong? Maybe you're studying tape wrong. Maybe you need to find a cornerback, one of the great ones that you admire, that you're really close to. Don't try to look at Deion Sanders tape. I mean, you can, but be realistic and look at yourself and say, what cornerback that was really good that I see myself in? Perhaps not Deion Sanders. Perhaps it's somebody like an Eric Allen or Aeneas Williams or somebody like that, and then study film on them and then study their techniques. Learn to look back. Because I will tell you, the last year, 2 years when he was here, he had an opportunity to get at least 6 or 7 interceptions that year, both those years. He really did, because they were throwing at him at so high of a clip that he was, I remember 5 passes that hit him in his back in 1 year. In different games, because he's simply battling a wide receiver and the guy looking back, he's not even trying to look back, and the ball hits him dead square in the back of his numbers. Now, had he was smart enough to turn around and look and see that ball, he would have had at least several picks that 1 year and the year after that, and he probably would still be on his team. But that's what I'm saying. You got to take stock in yourself, man, and eliminate the errors that make you dysfunctional, that make you, remember, dysfunction. We all are functioning, sentient people. We want to eliminate as much dysfunction as possible, because it's that dysfunction that's in our characters, those character flaws that prevent us from getting to that next level. That's what it is. It might be something, why can't I make it here? It's because something that you're doing or thinking or not thinking is keeping you at that level. Once you change that, identify that error and eliminate it, then you're going to start seeing the growth occur. Because really, it's like unlocking the door. It's like understanding, once you get that epiphany and that thought process, you gain that intellectual key. Then you can use it to open that door, and then you get into that larger room where you have a lot more blessings there. And that's some of the things that Drew Brees does. That's stuff like Sean Payton does. When I explained to y'all about him getting the voodoo rituals several times in the dome, whether he believed it or not, he did it for the sake of watching. And he could have did it secretly, but he did it out in front of everybody so people can be a part of this baptism cleansing type of situation that was able to kind of give a burial or put behind the people the dead garbageness of the past saints, so that we can embrace the winning saints of the future. And it worked. It was a mass thing that all the saints people seeing, and it really wiped it away. People accepted it. Even though some made fun of it, they don't realize in the end that it actually worked. Now, whether he believes that or not, he still did it. And I'm saying, it's people who think like that, that know that they have to get rid of stuff to get better, they'll assume and get better. You can't get better unless you know what's wrong, man. And if you don't know, ask somebody close to you who love you, who willing to tell you the truth and not sit up there and sugarcoat it. Like some of them fools that was running around with Antonio Davis. Antonio Brown. When Brown was up there and they was running them into the ground, they're just a bunch of parasites that were running with him. Because any real person would have told that dude, listen, man, you been a complete moron out here. You being an absolute idiot right now. And I don't care if you don't holler at me or not, but you don't need to be doing this. You don't need to be doing that. And I'm telling you this because I care about you. You need to cut it out. These other idiots over here, they just won't feed off your success because they're a bunch of rotten ass parasites. But I'm going to tell you the truth. You need to fix this, that. And when he came down off that bull crap he was on, he would have said, that man told me that. He'll remember that if he real. Just saying, sometimes you got to let him know. All right, move on. Uncle Paula says, hey, Big Q, some of Sean Payton calls are like old Saints Joe. Uncle Paulie drawing them old schoolers in there, man. All right, Jake Giggity. He says, man, Super Bowl or bust. All right, hey, Jerry, what up, fam? It says, Superstar Louisiana boy said, Jameis Winston 2021, let's go. Jameis looking good, and he winning a lot of people over, man. And it's good to see that, bro, because that's what it would have taken to win us over as a team. Is to be able to see the work ethic. Because remember Jameis last year, he had the mini pop belly and all this kind of nonsense. And he was but this year he was working his tail off. He was documented doing, he come in camp, he excited. And he's preparing for the job like he's starting, which is interesting to see him doing that. Even though you know you're going to be delegated or relegated to a backup. And only time you'll see game is hopefully not injury to Drew or cleanup duty. There because there are no preseason games, so you're not going to see Jameis Winston in any preseason games. It's going straight to the regular season once all this stuff is done. So hopefully we'll not have to see Jameis Winston unless he comes in 3 quarterback packages like the Saints set up last year when they had Drew and Teddy and Taysom in at the same time. And they had Drew lined up as a wide receiver out like he gonna catch a pass, but you never know with Sean Payton, man. Don't discount Drew. Like I said, he's an athlete now. He'll catch that pass on your ass. You leave him out there. All right, let's keep it going. Who that to you? True Louisiana Animal says, when I heard Benny Fowler talk, I said, man, you make a good coach or a staff member one day. Sounds really intelligent. Yeah, that's that part of that schooling I told you, bro. Knowing how to talk to people, the motivational stuff that he's doing, the books, the book that he talked about and all that kind of stuff. That's all a part of it, family. You know, it's the human side of things because people necessarily want to see the human side. People looking for something to relate to. You know what I'm saying? That is the thing that people attach on when they can say, you know what, I can relate to this man. This man's genuine. He talks truth. You know what I'm saying? He makes things simple and he adds a certain layer of humor to it. And that's what Benny Fowler does. And he is a very intelligent man. And besides, very fortunate too. Not too many people, like I said, can catch passes or had an opportunity to be a wide receiver for those quarterbacks that he's mentioned. That's pretty deep there. All right, let's keep it going. Lee said Cardinals expected to sign Ken Crawley. See, he's going to catch on. He's going to find a job. Ken Crawley is going to find a job. But the thing is, he needs to understand why. And if he doesn't fix it, he's going to be leaving the Cardinals, going to somebody else. You got to fix your flaws. You got to understand what you're doing wrong. Why? Because teams ain't going to just get rid of a good cornerback. They're not going to do that. If you're out there making plays and making interceptions, they're going to keep you. Now, you know, you might get caught up in a numbers game every now and again because that does happen. But the odds of you sticking with a team are a lot better when you're a guy catching interceptions and you're doing what you're supposed to do, your own point with yours. And I think Ken Crawley, being that we were exposed to Ken Crawley, and he came from the lower depths of the cornerback situation to get up there and then become a starting cornerback, taking P.J. Williams' position from him that year, and played well that first year or so before he lost his confidence and then just started falling through the flow. And we all lose confidence at time. That's why we have the reinforcement principles that, you know, that this is just merely something we transitioning through. And I just have to be able to find what's going on in here, see through it, find the answer and correct it, whatever. Shifting, you know what I'm saying? It's not like we get stuck on something like if we have an issue or problem. Instead of you recognize it as a problem and not wasting any more time on that problem. Insofar as saying that is a problem, like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? This is the problem. Oh, and then focusing on becoming a worrier. Don't become a worrier, become a warrior. Meaning once you recognize it as a problem, then take action. Take action and and put all of the energy that you would have put into worrying about the issue into the problem-solving aspect of it. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's something that we have to, you know, put in our mind because we've been taught the other way. And a lot of stuff that we've been taught is counterproductive toward our balancement, by the way. But we have to learn this and go forward. That's why I respect a lot of the men like a Demario Davis or Drew Brees or Mike Thomas and some of these guys. They're doing it the right way. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it the right way. They just, you know, some of them need to be a little bit more humanizing and be a little bit more change their perceptive of their perception of who they are toward the people. Because even though you've done as much work as you've done in the gym and on the practice field before you got to this level, it is still the people. It is still the people, because without the people, you are nothing in terms of being in the NFL and being a player. They can't do it without the people, baby. They can't do it. It's the money from the people that fund the whole goddamn thing. That's that real deal, Holyfield. And knowing that makes you the power, because money represents power, they say. That's what they say. But if that is indeed the case, then power to the people, or the fact that you are running this whole thing. They don't look at it like that because they like to put you in the back seat. But really, you in your front seat doing what you're supposed to do. You drive the car, you move the vehicle, you go where you want to go. All right. Crash says McCoy was cut to free up space. NFL business, good business move. Trey Joseph, who that Trey, says Everson Griffin is taking up his production. Now, yeah, I'm kind of upset about that. I'm still kind of sore about that move, but you know, we just have to see. 985, who that to you, says Crash reports had it. His contract said if he got hurt, they could cut him. Why nobody called Talib? That's an interesting question, 985. I don't know about that one. There's several really interesting people on the docket that they didn't contact. And I don't know why, but perhaps as we get closer to the season start, and that might be a move, like a middle season move, where you start seeing guys like that come off the board because of the injuries that start mounting up. And trust me, there are going to be some injuries. It's sorry to say that, but the truth is these guys haven't been in the OTAs. There's no preseason contest. And you're going to see a lot of injuries happen during that process. And you're going to see them all catch up around this time, and people are going to have tweaking of injuries and stuff, like tweaking of muscles and injuries. That's just a part of the game. So you'll start seeing these older players like a Talib and a Logan Ryan and all these guys. They're going to eventually fall off the board and make it onto somebody's roster once injuries start occurring, and people start seeing what they really have after they get a good look at the team and say, you know what, this guy here ain't where I thought he was supposed to be. Let's call Clowney and see if we can get him in the door. This guy ain't looking quite like I like him to be. Let's get Kirkpatrick in the door here. Stuff like that occurs. And I've seen, remember, 7 circumstances in the recent past where the Saints reached into the free agency right before the season started, in some instances in the middle of the season, and pulled veterans in on the team to help them, get over, so to speak. Thank you for that. All right, let's move. Crash says Cowboys knew he had a prior injury. The language of the contract was wise by Jerry Jones and the boys. Yeah, he's a crafty one. Derek Allison, who that to you, Derek? Good to see you, family. Appreciate you joining us here, my man. Thank you. Let's see who else we got there. All right, Donald Wood says, family, defense is doing great in camp. Janoris Jenkins, Malcolm Jenkins, Marcus Williams is 210 and doing good in camp. Marshawn Lattimore is having an outstanding camp as well. Yeah, we're gonna get into that next, family. I'm gonna trickle back to the super chat. To the chat, and read a few more of your comments and questions after I go to the next layer, which we'll get into the camp news. So who that to the Iceman and the rest of the family members as well. Pelican Nola says Q at them old tapes of Michael Haynes and Lester Hayes, the Oakland Raiders, when he played. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of people he can look at, man, that can help him out. I'm telling you what. It really is. You got to start studying that tape and know who you are. Ant My Ninja, who that to you as well. Good to see you in the chat. Thank you for joining us, family. So if you give me a second or two, we're going to go into the day 2 camp observations here, and we'll get into that. So, all right, day two training camp observations. This is from NOLA.com. I had the opportunity to look at that and a few video clips from what happened during a camp today. And they were pretty interesting. New Saint, this is day 2 training camp observations. New tight end present, Jameis Winston takes minimal reps. And as we get into the article here, this is Amy Just. New Orleans' second padded practice at training camp on Wednesday morning wasn't full pads as the team went shells and helmets in practice on the indoor field at the National Sports Performance Center in Metairie. Now, Coach Payton said that the team does that periodically and that they'll be back outside with full pads for practice number 3 on Thursday. Now, practice on Wednesday lasted 90 minutes again, which is shorter than the norm because of the shortened time. The Saints had 2 team periods, the first of which was a run heavy and the second of which was focused on pressure situations. The Saints also did a 2-minute workout in the kicking game. Now, the Wednesday observations, they have a lot. 4 players didn't practice. Of course, we know about Andrus Pete's broken hand, Josh Hill's tweak, and linebacker Chiquillo and Tino Ellis are not there. Now, Chiquillo was seen in the building on a stationary bike. Pete, Hill, and Ellis were observed on the sidelines, with Pete's sideline, Nick Easton filled in again at left guard. Both Pete and Hill are battling injuries. Pete reportedly has a broken thumb, and Hill is dealing with an unspecified tweak, but should be back on the field soon. Now, you're saying broken thumb. Did everybody know it was a broken thumb today? Now, it was a busted hand yesterday. I'm just documenting this for people who might have thought it was something else. According to this report by Amy Just, I'm going to do a little research after the show, by the way, to see. But I remember we covered this. It said a broken hand. Now we're looking at a broken thumb. I'm just documenting it for the show. All right. But as far as the tweak is saying, Josh Hill, he should be back on the field soon. That's what Payton said on Monday. We played that interview, by the way. The Saints had a new tight end on the field Wednesday, Ethan Wolf, wearing number 86. He expects the corresponding roster move for the Saints, with Wolf's signing, as the Saints were 80 players before bringing him in. So what do they do here? Does Andrus then move? A corresponding move should be Andrus moving to the injury list or the PUP list or something like that. It should be a move where he's moved to the injury list to to justify having this backup tight end here. But we'll see. We'll see. And probably tomorrow, early tomorrow or late today. Payton said Wednesday that Wolf gives the Saints some additional depth at the position and vision Wolf playing as an inline tight end, somebody that is lined up close to the line, according to what Payton said. And it gives us a chance to really look at what we think might be a developmental blocking tight end, and that he can also do some things in the passing game. Now look at Tamus. Of course, remember the interview we played when Drew, he made a mistake and was talking about the quarterbacks Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill, and he combined their name and called them Tamus. You should have known. You say proud and said, "I'm about to start some. You know what?" On Monday, Drew accidentally referred to fellow quarterbacks Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston by the portmanteau of Tamus. On Wednesday, Winston only was given 2 chances to throw passes during the 11-on-11 sessions. He went 1 of 2 with one pass bouncing off the ground. Even though it hit the ground, linebacker Chase Henson ran it back. The other pass went to wide receiver Deontay Harris, who laid out for the catch. Now, in the first session, which was a run-heavy, Hill once made a run for it and broke a tackle in the backfield. In the second team session, Hill's first 2 passing attempts fell incomplete, with one intended for Alvin Kamara. But Hill connected with tight end Tommy Stevens, wide receiver Emmanuel Butler, and wide receiver Austin Carr. There you go. On the next 3 attempts, so we've got Austin Carr sighting. We all fans of Austin Carr on this show. All right. All right, rookie watch. Rookie offensive lineman Cesar Ruiz continued working at the right guard position on Wednesday. That's right, at right guard, which lines up with what Payton said on Monday about rotating Ruiz and McCoy between the right guard and center spots. Linebacker Zach Bowen continued to work alongside Demario Davis and Alexander Zaloni when the Saints were working out their base 4-3 package. Undrafted rookie punter Blake Gilligan worked on holes with Will Lutz and lone snapper Zach Wood. And people keep saying Blake Gilligan is just a camp person, and I just have to keep telling them they don't bring in a backup leg for Thomas Morstead. That's never been done since he's been here. They see something in this kid, and I'm not, anything is possible in this world. Anything. So we'll see what happens, man, because, you hadn't had a punter to been here since Tommy Morstead's rookie year, so that says a lot. Here's a little lanyard for you. The offensive line, when working on drills, sang the intro to Make It Clap by Busta Rhymes, just like what plays over the speakers at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome when offensive lineman Will Clapp comes into the games. The first song played at Wednesday's practice was Set It Off by Baton Rouge native Boosie. One of Thomas Morstead's punts bounced off the rafters. Wow. Will Lutz went 4 of 5 during the team's 2-minute drill, kicking situational drills. Okay, Will Lutz is as close as accurate as usual. And plays of the day. Let's look at the plays of the day. Both plays of the day are from the defensive side of the ball. On the first play of the second team session, Breeze attempted to throw the ball to Emmanuel Sanders, but cornerback Jack Rabbit Jenkins swatted the ball so hard that the sound echoed indoor. Later in the session, Breeze tried to connect with tight end Jared Cook, but defensive back J.T. Gray showed his athleticism by chasing Cook down near the sideline, then denying him with an acrobatic pass breakup. Okay. Then, of course, the player of the day happened today. His running back Ty Montgomery had 2 plays that stood out during the team periods. The former Stanford Cardinal had 1 play where he broke free when rounding the corner on the left sideline and leaving the closest defender in the dust. Payton said Monday about Montgomery has been getting a lot of reps within the running back position, but the Saints can certainly move him outside if they choose, and that's why he's here. He's going to be an inside guy, outside guy, whatever the hell you need him to do, and trust me, he can do it. He can block as well, so I love these additions. And I got to say, man, the Saints getting guys like Benny Fowler, who can do a little bit of everything. Guys like Ty Montgomery, who can do a little bit of everything. These soily, really difficult, intelligent veterans that are very productive are solid role players for a team that's loaded with top-notch talent. Ty Montgomery is people don't understand how really good of a move it was, because I've been campaigning for I don't know how long for the Saints to have a running back that can do what Kamara does and who can do a little bit of what Latavius Murray does. That was the mentality. I was like, listen, if you're going to have Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray, we know you got Alvin Kamara, what he can do everything. Then you have Latavius Murray, which he's the power guy, short yardage back. That's fine. Then you have a guy that's a combination of those guys. So if one of them get out or go down, you don't lose the packages that you can use for those guys. And Ty Montgomery represent that. Plus, he's insurance for several people on this team, including Alvin Kamara. So I just love the fact that they have this kid, a really tough and smart football player. I love these second free agency round, these unspoken guys. That's going to really work well. These role players, we talk about really good starters, but you want to talk about solid role players. The Saints have several really solid role players on this team, and this guy, Ty Montgomery, is one of them, and he was labeled as the player of the day. Now, what's going on tomorrow? The Saints are back at practice Thursday. For full pads, day 3 will be outside according to Coach Payton. So full pads outside tomorrow. If it's nice and sunny, of course it will be hot. And that is some particulars from day 2 training camp observations right here. So there you go. All right. Yeah, that was interesting, man, to say the least. Real good information there. Anyway, thank you. And who that to the family members chiming in the live stream as well. Please hit the like button, family. Hit it. Smack it down real good. And help your boy out with the likes. Let's get the likes up, if you please. As I go to the chat now. Now, let me give a few shouts out to the family members that have joined us here. Jarvis Collins, who that to you? Jarvis, I see you, family. Thank you for joining us here as well. Dada, what up, Dada? Ray Long, who that to you as well. And what up, Troy? Troy Thompson, what up, fam? Good to see you in the building there, Troy. I see you, fam. Diehard Saints fan, I see you, man. Who that to you as well. Thank you. All right. All right, let's keep going here. I'm going to go through this chat as much as I can here, family. All right. All right, okay, I was last stopped at Donald's commentary. Crash says, Paul says, what, Eric? We were talking about Gerald McCoy. Diehard Saints fans say, sub Q, I'm playing 2K, but I got you and the family in my headset. Hashtag Sports Coma. Thank you there. Appreciate you, Diehard Saints fan. Thank you, family. Appreciate you for joining us and your support, my friend. Appreciate you. 985 Live said, did Jameis apologize for Laddie Daddy? I wonder, did Jameis apologize to Laddie Daddy? You probably, he probably had to apologize to several Saints players, Laddie Daddy, Cam Jordan, a few people. But, when it's like if you're a bigger person, bro, you come on the team, it's like, okay, whatever you did, if it wasn't too, bodacious, if it wasn't too out of line, you're a Saint now, and we ain't going to worry about all that. You're on this side now. So, but Jameis has a lot because he can tell us a lot about what Bruce Arians' system is. He really could. And I'm talking about, it's not like you have a defensive back that can spill the beans on a few things, but we talking about Jameis, a guy that can tell you, because he ran the offense, exactly what's going on. So you don't think for a second when we play Tampa Bay that Jameis Winston, who was their starting quarterback last year, won't give the intricacies away on what they're doing. Now, of course, they'll modify things with Tom Brady and all that kind of stuff. But the truth is, that's still a lot of good information that Jameis could pass on to us. So I think it's a part of being a bigger man. I think a lot of that has gotten out of the way. And he's proven himself based upon what he's done. I mean, he's looked fantastic. He looks like he did when he was in college, when he won that national championship. He looks thin, he's muscular, he looks focused, he's serious, and he's happy. You know what I'm saying? And that's big because, man, that's big to me that he's preparing like a starting quarterback and he's a backup. That is big. That shows me a lot in his mindset. Crash says, I heard Duncan say today in an interview that Andrews Pete lost 30 pounds. That's a lot. Don't you think? He could lose bulk and strength. That's true, bro. But, you got to err on the side of the Saints trainers. We have some really good trainers, by the way, here. And then we, of course, our trainer that we had for 20 years retired this past season. We picked up another really good trainer. So it's like one of those jobs, like if you got a job, like you get on there and you just stay on there till you retire. Well, that's what the Saints training job is. We keep some of the really good trainers here, and I'm proud of it. But Andrews Pete was serious, man. I told y'all when he signed that $57.5 million contract early this offseason when the Saints brought him back, made him one of the top 3 highest paid offensive linemen in the NFL. When he did that, I told you, I said, y'all, we was seeing the rookie version of Andrews Pete stumbling around, not stumbling around, but we recognized this dude as somebody that was, learning it. He was shifting around, moving around, and he ultimately, eventually was able to put it together when he was able to. When he was able to get somewhere and stay, then he was able to say, okay, I got it. And then he picked it up and started really moving it. That shows his intelligence and how really intelligent it is to move around that much and still make 2 alternate Pro Bowls, trips to the Pro Bowl at a position that you've never played before. All in college, this guy's been a tackle. He's never been a guard. But he moves to a left guard position after playing every other position except for the center, constantly moving behind Teron Armstead and back to his position. It's 2 things to add with that, the Andrews Pete situation, is the fact that this Andrews Pete is the guy, this is the professional Andrews Pete. This won't be like the Andrews Pete on the rookie contract. He got the money, and he's going to live up to it. That's why he did lose the 30 pounds, but he gained a lot of muscle. But you can look at Andrews, and we talked about this on TSC Q&A Live. Please join via Patreon. That's our patron show for our Patreon champions and our YouTube members. Please feel free to join patreon.com to listen to that show. We do that every Tuesday at 6 o'clock. And we talked about that, the disproportionateness. If you look at Andrews Pete, you can see that his legs are a lot bigger. He got his below his waist is bigger than above his waist. If he got big, huge, massive, strong legs, and then he's kind of smallish at the top because he's disproportionately made, it appears. You know what I'm saying? Got big tree trunks down here, and he looked like a smaller guy at the top. Well, he's gotten in a lot better shape because he knows it's money time. He got to step up. He got that big old contract, and he got to represent. That's what it comes down to, bro. So, I'm happy for him, man. I think he'll shake back from this injury. This is a guy that played with all kind of injuries, bro. He broke that shattered. He had that forearm that was shattered. He played with that. He had some other stuff happen to him. He played with that. So, I expect him to play and do his very best, man, like he's been doing. I don't see him as such, like some people see him as soft or whatever. I just don't see that. Thank you for that, Crass. Pelicans Notice says, Q, look at them old tape. Okay, I read that one. Okay, Paula says, Crass, thank you for telling me I was like the Saints do cut the wrong old lineman again. All right. Kevin says, you have the cockiness and confidence of cornerback playing with swagger. And that's the thing. They can't all be Deion Sanders. You're not all blessed with the speed, and the ability to play off and then have the speed to catch up. And Deion was very intelligent, too, on the field. He had the speed, and he was confident. He knew how to bait guys in. I'm going to play you off of here. And then when the ball come to you, he right there making the play. He had that explosive closing speed that was ridiculous. A guy like Ken Crawley doesn't have that type of speed, but he needs to be more technical. I'm speaking about the technical aspect of a cornerback, learning how to read the footing or the movements, reading body language, because that's the stuff you have to pay attention to. It's crucial. And reading body language and being astute on that level is uber important, because as a cornerback, you have to read the guy in front of you because he's the actor and you're the reactor. You acting off of whatever he's doing. It's not like you're a cornerback, you go up there and then you go run left. That guy runs right, he catch the pass. No, whatever he's doing, you got to mirror him. In order to mirror him, you got to understand his movements. You're not a mind reader to know exactly what he's thinking, but you don't have to be. You could pay attention to his body language, and his body language will show you exactly what he's going to do. You see what I'm saying? And if you can do that and learn that, then you will have a lot of success. And then, of course, there are the technical things, like learning how to keep the wide receivers' hands off of you. Like a big guy like Mike Thomas, when he makes his move, he's going to, wherever if the cornerback is on top of the spot he needs to be, he's going to find a way to move that guy. He's going to put a move on him and get him off if he needs to get him, whatever you got to do. You got to be smart enough to understand that and know what to do. And a lot of people, they get up there and then the lights turn on. And I thought that was the thing with him. He would practice really well in the practice and then go into the game and just forget everything. And I was like, what is going on here? Because he caught several interceptions in practice. And then when the lights turn on in the game, he get lost. What's this all about? And that's the same thing I said about P.J. Williams, because they were doing the same thing. They'll get into the game and then it'll go blank. You know, they'll just, what happened? What did I miss? That's what would happen with those men. And Ken Crawler, that was happening too much, often to the point where they had to sit him down on the bench. And you have to understand, man, you can't go out there and he would go out there and do the same thing. I'm like, if you're serious about your craft and you want to stay in the NFL, you better understand that you can't do that without people recognizing it and then getting your ass out of there. You can't be cool, and you got to take it personal when a guy burns you. That's another thing. These cornerbacks get burnt like P.J. Williams and be like, it's all good. I get punched in the face every day. I got a tough jaw. You punch me in my face, I could take it. Nah, dude, if dude punch you in your face, you punch him back and let him know that's how I feel. Don't play with me. But you can't have that type of mentality. You got to take it personal. Like I said about Marcus. Marcus Williams, you got to take it personal, bro. That guy caught that ball and he get up here and hold the ball and do this the first down gesture and all this kind of stuff. That's your house. You can't let him get away with that. That's how Ronnie Lott taught. And I still say that mentality is something that some of the greatest safeties, defensive backs, whomever have. You got to learn to take it personal, man. And that's the point with us. This team has to learn that vengeful mentality, especially in the playoffs. Take it personal. That should be the mantra of the season going ahead. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they came up with one, but the mantra of the Saints season, I just gave y'all a layup right there, New Orleans Saints organization. I just gave you a layup there. And it's two of them. One of them I don't think you want. It's called Don't Burn the Beans. And you can't take that one. I ain't giving you permission for that one. But I'll give you the one that says that the mantra of the team is take it personal. You know? Don't be like Jermaine Jackson. Don't tell him, don't take it personal. No, don't do all that. Don't listen to Jermaine Jackson on that one. You take it personal. That's what be the mantra of the team. Take it personal, because that's what you need to do. For playoff failings, take it personal against the Minnesota Vikings. Take it personal against the San Francisco 49ers. Take it personal against the Kansas City Chiefs. Take it personal against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Take it personal against the Atlanta Falcons. Take it personal against all those teams that try to stand in your path for a championship. Take it personal. Take it personal. All right. Paul says, I was so shocked by Elba Lewis and James Hasty and Vesti Jackson were so solid and tough cornerbacks back in the day. Smart cornerbacks that knew how to play the position, but they had a certain physicality about them. People were scared of cornerbacks once in a lifetime. Once back in the day. They were scared of cornerbacks and safeties. And this soft toilet paper world we live in today, where everything is so milquetoast, it's not the same. But the physicality of football is still there. You can still play that game that way within the confines of the rule. You still can. Hopefully we can get some guys to take it personal. That's the mantra of the team. Take it personal. There is no other thing that should be placed up there unless it's something that says, let's make, I just say don't take, because take it personal is something that applies to everything that we need to do as a team. You need to take it personal. All the last 3 years of failing and falling through the floor. Take it personal. That should be the goal. Or the saying, I say. All right, Uncle Paula says, why the Saints keep these MASH unit players? Pete Davenport, MASH unit. Alan Alda. But this is the thing. Henderson set around is beyond me. Scoop says Gillikin is going to make the squad. 985 say, what I told you, Q, about Ruiz, reports have it that the punter can kick too. Well, that is interesting, bro. Because I did hear that. There was a scouting report on him that I remember reading about, that he's a guy that they're looking at. And, of course, they have some people. The move is to take the kicker and the punter and, a move that they really want is to kind of get rid of the kicker and punter positions and create like a utility position where one guy does both. That's a lot of work for a guy kicking and punting. But, that's something that they were trying to work into the league, to free up that roster spot. But Gillikin's here for a reason. I keep telling y'all that. There's never been a punter that's been a competition for Thomas Morstead since he's been a Saint. He's been here as long as Drew Brees has been here. Come on. So, like I'm saying, sooner or later, Drew and him going to eventually have to leave. This is a youth movement, and there'll be several other people that'll be moving as well. Y'all will be quite surprised when the season over with, All right, let's keep it going here, family. All right, William says Ty Montgomery, I think he can shine here. Oh, no doubt about it, bro. I'm with you on that. Pelicans Nola says, Q, can the Saints help Darius Geis get back on track and clean up his off-field problem? I do think so. I do think so. When Geis came off of there from the Redskins, I was like, wow, that's Darius Geis there. And then right after that, reports, and we covered it on the TSC Unleashed earlier today. We talked about the Darius Geis's case and what's really going on with it. They won't touch that with a 50-foot pole, bro. They're going to let that work itself out. He will have to go and get help. And after all that works out, then you might see a position for Darius Geis. He's incredibly talented, but if that stuff that they're talking about that he was doing is really true, those allegations are true, he might not be free. He might be in jail somewhere, you know what I'm saying? And guys went to jail for a lot less than that. Look at Cosby. What happened to Bill Cosby? He a millionaire, a multimillionaire. He went to jail with no proof. Just somebody said something, no evidence, no nothing. And he went to jail. You know what I'm saying? So anything can happen. To keep it real with you, if you're doing stuff like that, you deserve to be in jail. You ain't supposed to hurt the women like that. You know how I feel about the women. You know how I feel about the kids. You know, if anything make me more upset is than people hurting women and people hurting the kids. You know, I get on you. I'll put the fisticuffs on your ass if you hurting the women and if you hurting them children. I don't play behind that, man. You know, you're supposed to protect the women and you're supposed to protect the children. That's how it's supposed to go. That's always been the role of the man. I don't care what they say nowadays. You protect that woman. You look out for that woman. You make sure she's fine. You make sure she's okay. You know what I'm saying? You don't put her in harm's way. You know, we got some tough women say, Q, that's all right, baby. I could take care of myself. I hear you, that independent woman. I hear you. But at the same time, if you got a fella there and he love you, he won't protect you, let him do it, man. That's a part of his role naturally as a man. Don't do it. Just let him do it. Just humor him. And like I said, take care of them children, man. Them children love you. Take care of the children. Don't hurt the children and don't hurt the women. Whatever you do, baby. Don't do it. All right. Williams says they need some more peeps on defense, though. Crash says Sanders, Montgomery, Fowler will take reps away for Traquan Switch. You already know, Crash, bro. Once again, you're on top of it. Ray says, Q, what is a good season for Traquan Smith this year when you have Thomas? A good season? For Trey, he says, what is a good season for Traquan this year when you have Thomas, Sanders, Cook, Kamara in front of you? It's going to be tough, bro. That's why I said I don't think that he gets hurt is what I'm saying. I don't think, well, listen, let me rephrase that. I don't think that Traquan Smith gets cut this year. It doesn't make any sense because he's not really making that amount of money. He got another year on top. This year and next year, he got a year on his contract. So I don't see the Saints rushing to get rid of Traquan Smith. I'm just going to keep it real with you on that. Now, Benny Fowler definitely, in my opinion, is going to make this team. And you're going to see more and more of his comfortability. And notice what he said in the interview about Drew Brees going out of his way to make sure Sean Payton put him on his team. That he said out of his way. It's not like the fact that he went and did something. Appreciate you, Crash. Thank you, fam. Thank you for your super chat. But Benny Fowler said that, bro. He said that Drew went out of his way to make sure he's on his team. You think Sean Payton, after him doing that, he going to put Benny Fowler on the street? No. But you're absolutely right, though. The pressure on Traquan Smith to step up. There's a certain degree, but we're not looking for him to step up anymore. The truth is, we've looked past that now. You have Benny Fowler here. You got Ty Montgomery here. You got Troutman there. You're going to have Deontay Harris sneaking in there. Don't forget the really big impediment to him is Taysom Hill, because Taysom is going to play at the wide receiver spot more than he plays at anything else. And that's what Traquan is supposed to be. So I'm not, and a lot of people say, Q, the pressure's on him. And at first I said, yeah, but then think about it this way. It really isn't. He has to step up, and I think he'll get better because you have better wide receivers around to school him. It's a difference between a Ted Ginn Jr. and a Emmanuel Sanders. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. If you listen to interviews from Ted Ginn Jr., he kind of screw it, you know what I'm saying? He kind of throw it off. You know, we knew this about Ted Ginn. I'm not saying you can't teach nothing, but Emmanuel Sanders is a better teacher and has a better track record, in my opinion, than where Ted Ginn Jr. comes from with the Super Bowl and his ability to explain stuff to him. Everybody said that. He helped a lot of them young wide receivers that 49ers had, like Bourne and Deebo Samuel and all those guys, become better players. And they gave that to him when he came on there had 60-plus catches between two teams and was a major contributor to help the 49ers get to the Super Bowl. Remember, they were looking for a wide receiver that can get them over the hump, and they were able to give up all those picks, but guess what? It worked. They brought him there, and he got to the Super Bowl. They just couldn't close the deal against the Chiefs. But the reality is, I'm not looking at Traquan Smith to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Really, I'm not, because we don't need his production. Everybody else is gonna piecemeal this guy, and he's already a backup right now. And I don't see Sean Payton saying, "Well, we got to hurry up and usher him out the door." I just don't see that. I'm sorry, I don't. You know, I don't. Sean Payton is stubborn. He likes Traquan Smith, and I haven't seen him, say anything negative about Traquan Smith. Like you heard people like Aaron Glenn say, "Man, this guy got to work on his tackling." Speaking of Marcus Williams and other players, you know what I'm saying? But Traquan's going to step it up. I think he'll get better because he'll be around guys that'll teach him what to do. But as far as him having a major contribution in offense, unless injuries occurs, I don't see that happening, bro. It's just too many other people who are better at the position than he is that's going to steal off his position. You got Taysom Hill, who's better at being a wide receiver in the Saints offense, despite the fact that he just started playing wide receiver 2 or 3 years ago. So, and this man was playing wide receiver his entire career, his entire career as a football player. You know, he was a wide receiver the majority of the way. We talking about Traquan Smith. Do you got Taysom comes in here as a backup quarterback, a backup ass quarterback, and steal your reps away at the third spot? Then you got Ty Montgomery, who's really a wide receiver playing a running back. That's the truth, because they needed help. They say, you know what? We out of running backs. All our running backs hurt. Let's put Ty Montgomery, who has some experience playing running back, at the running back position. The change never went back. He never became a wide receiver again. When he did that, he stayed at the running back position, but he was originally a wide receiver, a really tough one. But that's a guy that's better than Traquan Smith at the position. Taysom Hill's better than him at the position. Deontay Harris is going to come in there and get snaps there. You know, Adam Troutman and guys like that are going to come in there and get snaps as well. Then you got this stuff, it's just, I don't see him needing his production. Don't get me wrong. If the ball comes to him, he got to catch the ball. That is true. But outside of that, there's no pressure on him to do anything. We don't need him to do anything. That ship has sailed. You got everybody there, including Benny Fowler, who has more experience than him, who can play inside and out just like Sanders. And, no pressure. You and I ain't even looking at him anymore, to be honest with you. It'll be good to see him step his game up, which I think he will. But, man, unless injuries occur, you're not going to see Traquan Smith all that much, to be honest with you, bro. I'm just going to keep it real with you. He'll be a depth piece. Hard to see him beating out Benny Fowler and all that kind of stuff. The only reason why he might be listed over Fowler right now is because his exposure to the offensive playbook. But sooner or later, that advantage will evaporate. All right, let's move on to the next one. Thank you, Crass. Ray Long says, Q, what is it? Okay, now I'm Thomas Sanders. And Kamara. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate that. Jarvis says, who that? Y'all can't wait for the season to start. I know. Bishop One Love. What up, Bishop? How you doing, fam? Thank you. I appreciate you, fam. Much love. T said, get the likes up for the coma, bro. Darrell Freeman. Who that to you, Darrell? Appreciate you chiming in. Freddie says, making excuses for Brady already. All right, Paul says Traquan Smith might be better off on the taxi squad. Q, what you think? Well, like I said, bro, I don't see Coach Payton letting him ride, man. I'm sorry, I don't. He got another year on top of the year here, and I just don't see it. There's no reason for him to rush him off the tee unless he bottoms out. And like I've said, there are several players that are here that you can get immediate production from, and they're solid veterans that do pretty much everything that he does, and with a great deal better than he does. So I'm just not expecting much out of Traquan. I do think he'll be better than what he was in the previous season because of the exposure of the guys around him, but I'm not anticipating nothing from him. He's buried in there, and it's most of those guys don't even play his position that's going to be peeling off reps from him. Now, it'd be good to have him there learning in case one of these guys get hurt, because it's a physical sport. And remember, Emmanuel Sanders, as good as he is, he have an injury history. So hopefully that doesn't occur, but you would want to see these guys develop and be ready when their time is called. That's all I'm asking. I'm just asking the dude to be ready when his number's called and just show up and show out. That's all I can ask the man to do. Okay, let's keep it going. Dada says Jameis looks a lot quicker as he slimmed down. He's more excited. He looks real good. Freddie says talking about Brady didn't have enough time with the team. DLP 2600, what up, fam? He says Pete was known as a dancing bear in college. Yep. Dude is 6'7", 340 pounds. This will help his quickness. He's still only 25 years old and strong as a horse, man. Thank you for that, DLP. Once again, real good analytical information for my dog, DLP 2600. Much love to you, fam. Good to see you in the chat, bro. I ain't been seeing you recently. Hope everything's been going on with you. It's positive and well, bro. And prosperous, successful, prosperous, going on with you. All right, let's keep it going here. But that's absolutely right, man, about Andrews Pete, just to drop that. Big guy, 300, quick. He's fat. And remember, he was a first-round draft pick the Saints pulled out of Stanford. He was a blindside tackle. I think he was blocking for Luck. Y'all fix me in the chat. Make sure, because I think the quarterback, he was there. He was with Andrew Luck, wasn't he? I want to say it's Luck. I remember seeing the film. This was a while ago. I won't say that was Luck there. That he was on that line blocking for. Y'all correct me, but I won't say it's Luck. Ramsey, who that to you, Ramsey? Good to see you in the chat. But you're absolutely right. 25 years old. He got the big fat contract, and that's how it's supposed to go when you're a first-round draft pick who gets multiple Pro Bowl appearances, meaning that you're excelling at that position. And I say it's uber important, and people don't really give him credit, bro, is because he has 2 Pro Bowls at a position that he didn't play. That speaks a lot about his work ethic and his mentality, his intelligence. Now, he has some flubs, and like Iceman said several shows ago about the fact that, he was a guy that had the stupid Andrews look on his face when he made a mistake. That's true. But most of them do have that look. But the reality is he's earned that contract, man. And now that he earned that contract, you're seeing him elevate his body and get his body ready to go to more Pro Bowls. So I'm expecting great things from Andrews Pete. This is just merely a setback that he's dealt with, but he's had injuries in the past that did not stop him from making Pro Bowls and playing at a high level. So I'm an Andrews Pete guy. I got to rock with him, bro, because I know his story. I know where he comes from. All right, True Louisiana said, DLP, did he be getting bullied a lot on the line, though, by much smaller guys? He's getting stronger and better, bro. Now, you're right. He has some issues in the past. But listen, this is going to be a different dude. When you get paid that kind of money, that's a pressure that comes with that kind of money. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. When Mike Thomas got his money, that was the year before he broke the record. Remember that? He got paid the $100 million, and then the next year he broke the receiving record, the single season catch record. That goes to show, okay, I got the money, and to show you I'm worth it, I'm stepping my game up. Mike then took it to a level that very few wide receivers did. He took the individual record down. Now, in order to get that record, you have to play the majority of the games in the season to have an opportunity to catch that record. Not anybody can get that record, because I got a lot of people keep saying I got to keep they poo-pooing this like that was some small accomplishment. Man, that's ridiculous. That was a major accomplishment that very few people have ever done in a 100-year history of the league. Very few people, a handful of people were able to do that. Marvin Harrison was excellent in that Payton Manning offense in Indianapolis when he was catching the ball. He was efficient. He played most of the games. He was a number one option. And to catch that record, you have to be the number one option. It's the mere fact you look at all these other guys, they never even came close to getting that record. This man got that record after he got paid. And that goes to show you the mentality and the mindset of really good players. And what I'm saying is that type of mindset is throughout the team and throughout the Saints. You see Mike Thomas do it. You play next to Mike. You see what Drew Brees doing. He's an example of the team. And if you see Drew Brees out there busting his ass, you're going to be like, man, I got to go bust it too. And that's just what it is. So I'm expecting when he got paid, I said, man, listen, Drew, you've seen like rookie Andrews Pete learning through it, and he got up to a point where he was a Pro Bowler in 2 years. You're going to see professional Pete come up now. You're going to see professional Pete because he's going to prove to people that he earned that money. You don't have to prove it to me. I know he did. But he's going to take it up, and that's with him losing weight. And he also is going to get stronger by the fact that he's losing weight, which will make him even quicker and stronger. Watch when he gets healthy what kind of dude you got there. A lot of people going to eat them words about Andrews Pete. And another caveat that I want to mention about it that I didn't mention when I was talking about him earlier was the fact that Andrews had to shift around, and that kind of it posed an impediment to his development at the guard position. Because if you got to constantly keep shifting because somebody's hurt, I don't care who you are, that's going to throw you off because instead of doing what you were supposed to do, I got to do this man work. And then when he come back, I got to go back over here. You see what I'm saying? Now, you get better at certain techniques that you will refine at that position that you can swing from a tackle to a guard that will help you. That's true. But at the case in point, we know that at the guard position, if you got to keep going back to the tackle, that kind of stymies it a bit. Just like it was stymie a Taysom Hill guy who people want him to be the quarterback, but he can't be the quarterback because he in the running back room. He can't be the quarterback because he in the wide receiver room. He can't be the quarterback because he in the tight end room. He can't be the quarterback because he in the special teams room. You see what I'm saying? You cannot be in all rooms at the same time. You see what I'm saying? You can't. So if you're over there, you can't be over there. If you're there, you can't be over there. Meaning that if you're not in the quarterback room, you're missing the instruction that you need for your development. And that is an impedance. So once he gets away from that and goes back to what he can focus on, you'll see the development. You'll see him get better. And that's like with anything. That goes away from football. Like if you're a mechanic, you're not going to get better at being a mechanic if somebody says, come over here and help me fix on this fence, and then you stop being a mechanic to go over there and fix on the fence. You know, everything that you do when you go over there and do that work and you do it consistently, you get better at it. That's just how it is. That's how we are as humans as the process goes. But the addition of James Hurst that came on the team. Now remember, James Hurst, he'll be suspended the first month of the season. James Hurst was the guy they picked up from the Baltimore Ravens. He's a swing tackle. He can play either tackle position. He can play left tackle. He can play guard. Now, why is this important, Q? Why are you throwing up James Hurst when you talk about Andrews Pete? Because James Hurst will be the reason why Andrews Pete, with his new contract and all, don't have to shift back to the left tackle position. He can stay at the left guard position, which he will then get even better at. Just like what happened with Ryan Ramczyk when they left him alone at the right tackle position. He played that the entire summation of his young professional career. You don't think he would have had some growth issues if you said, listen, Ramczyk, let me pull you away from the right tackle and put you at left guard for a few games because we need you over there. And he would say, okay, coach. And he went over there and he did whatever he could do. But if you leave him alone and let him do his job, he's going to get really better. He's going to get much better at it, is what I'm saying. And with all that movement Pete was doing, he still was good enough to be a double Pro Bowler. Imagine if he was able to stay where he is for the rest of his career, because you got James Hurst there. If something happens with Terron, you could just put that back up in there and leave him alone. You're going to see even better Andrews Pete. So I'm expecting the big Andrews, the professional. I'm calling professional Pete, and this coming up here. Thank you for that, bro. Ramsey, who that to you as well. True Louisiana says DLP is getting bullied a lot online. Okay, yeah, I addressed that already. Willie Bibbins. What up, Willie? Good to see you, bro. He said Andrews Pete is a dog. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that's what I was saying. People saying he's soft. I'm like, man, how is he soft? Define soft for me, please. Put it in the chat. For those who believe that Andrews is soft, put it in the chat. And then define a soft guy. Would a soft guy play with broken bones? And they said, well, Q, everybody play with broken. That's not the point. I asked you directly, does a soft player plays with broken bones? No, usually a soft player will not play with broken bones. That's why they term him as soft. Oh, he's soft. He's soft because he don't want to deal with the physicality of the game. He don't want to play. We got a little injury, and he go say he can't play. That's what label you as soft. If that's the traditional football nomenclature for with a player that's deemed as soft. Y'all know it and I know it. Is that if he's soft, that means he don't play when he's hurt, right? That don't apply to Andrews Pete then, fam. Cut it out. It does not apply. He has played with broken bones. He constantly, and then not only did he play with broken bones and broken this and broken that, but he's also did at a level where he became a Pro Bowler while he was broken up. So I mean, I just can't justify that type of thought. Peanut Nola 504 Chief, what's going on, family? Good to see you in the chat, fam. Welcome in. All right, let's keep it going here. Peanut says, I'm happy. I'm so happy football is right around the corner. A couple weeks, bro, and we're going to have football again. Might be looking a little different like the NBA playoffs, man, but I'm happy to have it, bro. You know, I'm just keeping it real with you. DLP said, I believe so, man. This young guy is massive guy. Just like you said, his legs are tree trunks. That massive he lose will help with his quickness, but he's a strong man. I agree with everything he said because it is right as rainwater. That is as right as rainwater. He can afford to lose 25, 30 pounds off of his frame It'll make him quicker. He's already getting stronger, and you're going to see Andrews Pete going to rise to forget about this rookie Pete. He's now professional Pete. He's $50 million contract Pete. He's no longer the little wet behind the ears offensive lineman you seen struggle out of Stanford that was in Sean Payton doghouse when he first got here because he was overweight. And then he moved them all around and treated them bad. And I was upset at Payton from that because he wasn't doing that with nobody else. All right, Kenrasa, what up, Kenrasa? Marshawn is good at body reading. He is. And that's some of the things, man, the little intricacies. It's like, well, how could they be really better cornerbacks? Now, I've never played the cornerback position, but I played linebacker position. And I could tell you what, a lot of the skills that you use to cover tight ends and running backs and stuff like that is stuff that the corners use. It's just theirs is a little bit more relevant. But you pay attention. That's how guys like a Demario Davis or Mike Singletary or Brian Urlacher or Luke Kuechly, those guys do. They're paying attention when they're reading the offense that they're going against. They're watching body languages and see what they can pick up. You know, and their eyes are bouncing around to see who's moving where, and they're looking for play recognition. You know, if you're a good reader of body language, which is a real thing, by the way, reading about the habits or routines people bodies do, because don't forget, they're just not out there willy-nilly. They're also studying the scouting reports to know, and then scouting reports have the information of what your tendencies are. That's what the scouting department does. It gives each game, each week, it gives a scouting report of the best players and their tendencies and their weaknesses. So you're scouted just like you are in college from week to week to week. There is a scouting report that comes out every week. So the Saints know what they need to focus on. So they ain't like, okay, we're going to come up with this game. No, they know the pluses and the minuses of each player that's starting and how they can take advantage of it. So for those who don't know, that's what the scouting department does. It scouts the rivals, and it also scouts potential talent. But one of the biggest things that it does is during the season is it scouts its rivals for weaknesses and strengths to find out what they can take advantage of. The Saints have that scouting report every week for every opponent that they play. That's why I was upset last year during the Minnesota loss about it, because I had their scouting report. And the truth be told, it didn't take me to get the scouting report from the Saints to know what they was going to do, because I knew what the Minnesota Vikings could do. I knew what they were weak at, that you can run on them. I knew that, because the next week the 49ers did it. They weren't even worrying about throwing the ball. I think they had like 100, Garoppolo had like 140 yards or something, passing the ball, and they were just running them in the ground because the scouting report said that's what it was. It said that that's the weakness of the team, and they went toward the strength of the team, which put question marks in my head, is that I knew you had the scouting report, and you was reading the scouting report the entire year to gain success, to take advantage of your opponent's weaknesses, and you get into the playoffs and you go to their strengths. What's going on here? Well, a person with my kind of mind, you don't do that with. I start looking at you all kind of ways, like I'm supposed to, because you just threw off a major red flag, and I know you're not stupid. I know you're not dumb for you to make such a serious move and then have no emotional attachment to the move at all. Like it's just another game. Something wrong with that. Something wrong with that big time, man. So, you know, and like I said, I lit into his ass on that. And I lit into it because I'm going to call it out, man. I'm going to call it out. I'm just going to keep it real with you. It's who I am, is what I am. I'm going to call you out on it. All right, Crash says, Dad, I hope the Saints put him on the practice squad if he doesn't make the final call. He has a lot of potential fights for the 50-50 ball. Yeah, and Karasa, thank you for that question too, Ken Ross, about Marshawn Lattimore. But yeah, Janoris Jenkins does it too. C.D. Deuce, the artist formerly known as Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, also does it well as too. These guys know to pay attention to body language. Body language is something like what I was saying about Ken Crawley. Like you see the wide receiver turning himself. He's running. He's going to run to a point. He's going to run to a point on the field, then look for the ball. You're guarding the man, right? His back is turned because he's running to a point where he needs to go, and you're pursuing him. You're following him. You're covering him. Then because you're watching him, your eyes is on him, you're going to see him then turn around when he gets to that point on the field, right? Because if he can run all the way from wherever he is to the other side of the earth, as long as he don't turn around. You know, if he don't turn around, then you know the ball ain't coming to him, because unless he got eyes in the back of his helmet, There's no way he's going to catch the ball. So sooner or later, he has to be able to turn around and look for the ball. And when he's turning around and look for the ball, guess what you're supposed to be doing, Crawley, P.J. Williams, Johnson Batamosi, and all these other guys, Hardy. You're supposed to be doing this too. And see where that ball at. And then when that ball getting close, you're going to see them eyes get real big. Them eyes get real big. And another thing is them hands going to go up like that. You see? There ain't no way around that. You ain't going to put them up at the last minute. Now, some of them do that. The really good ones, they don't give you much to work with. The really good wide receivers, they don't give you much to work with because they understand that. I'm telling y'all, they'll put their hands up at the last moment and do a last move at the last second. They'll do that to throw you off. But the majority of those guys, 80% of them wide receivers will telegraph when the ball's coming. And if you're a corner person, you're supposed to be able to look around, seeing them coming. When those hands come up, that ball coming. You're supposed to be there. And that dude will see all that. Crawley will see all that and don't turn around. And I don't understand that. How do you not turn around? The ball, the man looking at you with his hands up and you still looking at him. What kind of fool are you? That's why I said if it's an intelligence issue, I'm like, man, what's going on here? I know Glenn them telling you in practice that you need to turn around because I see Marshawn Lattimore doing it. I see these CD Deuce doing it. I see Janoris Jenkins doing it. I see several other players turning around to look for the ball. Why aren't you doing it? In the game. That's what, like, listen, this might be an intelligence issue or something going on here. Because you could practice all you want, but if you ain't putting it in the game, you're useless to this here. You ain't helping nobody face guarding people. Then you put your hands on them, and then they call you for a flag. When the only thing you have to do is turn around, the ball would hit you in the back. And they hit that man in the back several times, man. Several times. He was thrown at constantly because they knew he was a poor cornerback. That he was prone to not looking for the ball. They will not throw the ball at you if you're a guy that make picks because they know that this guy don't even know. He ain't even smart enough to turn around and look for the ball. And the goddamn wide receiver got his hands and his eyes as big as spaceship saucers looking at the thing, and he's still looking at him. Get your ass off of this team, man. Get out of here, man. You don't know what you're doing, man. You're supposed to learn that when you was in college, man. Get off this team, man. I can't teach you. You got to look for the ball. Yeah, you're right, coach. I got to look to the ball. So why you not looking for the ball, bro? I was too busy. No, get out. You cut. You cut. Go. Get your stuff and get off the team. You cut. Can't help you. I can't do nothing for you. That's like old Singletary said when he was talking about old boy to play. I can't do nothing for him. Can't coach him. I mean, that's how it is. You can't do nothing for him, man. You got to get rid of him. All right, let's keep it going, fam. JT said the thing with Warford was he was getting in the playoffs against Donald and Everson Griffin, DeMarcus Lawrence. But that's some of the best players in the business, bro. You talk about DeMarcus Lawrence and Aaron Donald and Everson Griffin. Bro, those dudes give everybody a hard time. Let's just keep it real. I'm not making excuses, you know what I'm saying, JT? But the guys that you named, DeMarcus Lawrence and Aaron, those guys give everybody a hard time. And truth be told, in the Minnesota game last year, that guy, it wasn't just Larry Warford that was getting it and beating them. It was also Teron Armstead and Ryan Ramczyk. Those guys were giving them the business, all of them. Because those are dominant players. It's almost like you line up against Reggie White or some of those guys, and you know this human is different than most. You know? This human is different than most. This guy is doubly stronger than the strongest guy I ever guarded. That's an epiphany. When they get there, how do you prepare for Aaron Donald's strength or DeMarcus Lawrence's strength or Everson Griffin's speed and strength? How do you prepare for that? Now, you might guard against a Cam or you might guard against a Davenport who are strong and fast, and that's cool, but it's a different level when you got an Aaron Donald in there. This guy is usually doubly the strength of the average of the most strongest human on the field. He's small and compact. And super strong. It's just ridiculous. Like what Sue was. It's like, dude, is twice or 3 times stronger than the strongest human that most of these guys play with. And sometimes that get in their head. Like, man, I'm doing my best, and this dude just throwing me around. You know, and that's when that makes you raise your game. Because you have these poor games, and then you get into that gym and say, man, I got a pound on that iron some more. And that's what happened when you get it handed to you by a guy like Griffin or a guy like DeMarcus Lawrence. You get in that gym after that and say, man, I got to get stronger. Aaron Donald was just throwing me around. I can't let nobody do me that. Oh. And then you pumping iron like crazy with that in your head. I'm pumping out. Man, you better stop, man. Andrews, you better put that down, bro. Man, I can't do it, bro. I can't do it, bro. I got to make sure, man. I got to make sure I'm stronger than Aaron Donald. Because Aaron Donald put it on him. Everybody don't have that strength. And we talking about guys that are all of them are super strong. All of them lifting weight. And then you got guys that are twice as strong as the strongest guy that you played against. Picture that for a second. And you guarding that guy, and that guy just moving you around like you're a refrigerator with skates on. Like you Zach Street for somebody. You know? So, I mean, it's interesting, man. It's interesting. But anyway, let's keep it going, man. Let's keep it going here. We're going to keep it moving, family, in the chat here. I want to get you a few more comments, and then I'm going to peace y'all out on the show. We got a Pelican post-game report show that we got coming up a little later on. And we're gonna jump on there because there's some stuff I want to cover about Elvin Gentry. So if y'all Pelicans fans, please look for the Pelican post-game report on YouTube. I think the link is in the description section below. If not, then go to YouTube, put Pelican post-game report in there and subscribe to it, man. Because I'm going to be covering what Gentry said to ESPN and what Stephen A. talking about, that they wronged him and that he didn't know it was coming. That the Fowler was like, man, what? You didn't know it was coming? See, that's the delusion of you. You are a delusional. Delusion. Delusion is a real thing, family. Delusion. That's delusion. You know what the truth is? It's delusion and it's Heavenly Hill. That's what it is. It's a cup of delusion with Heavenly Hill. Because you had to have been drinking a lot of Heavenly Hill, you know. And listen, I knew men that drank Heavenly Hill. I got family members that drink Heavenly Hill. Y'all know what Heavenly Hill is. Y'all know. For those who don't know, Google it. But I remember I had an uncle of mine had some Heavenly Hill. I said, let me see that. And I took put in the cap a little bit, and had an all stain in the parking lot where we was at. I took a little cap of it, poured a little bit up and on the ground on that all spot, and then took my boot and rubbed it on the all spot, and it pulled all off the ground. I said, see what you drinking? He's like, man, how'd that work? He kept drinking it though, so I guess it ain't working. What that wasn't too impressive to him anyway. But the amount of delusion that this man has, see, he didn't see it coming. Are you kidding me, bro? But don't worry about it. We'll make you see it. We'll talk about it on tonight's Pelican Post-Game Report. We'll play an interview. We'll delve into it. We'll talk about it. We'll have some fun on the Pelican Post-Game Report. So I thank y'all for that. Let's finish the chat, family. I appreciate y'all. Please get the likes up. Please hit the like button. Please, please, please. Thank you. Please don't make me Keith Sweat. Don't turn me into Keith Sweat, family. Don't make me start begging like Keith Sweat. All right, let's keep it going, fam. JT said the thing with Waffle was when, okay, I got you there. Iceman says, put that on the shirt, Q. Okay, I will. All right. I just like no excuses, fam. That was a shirt as well. That's something that we gotta look at, man. You can't. That's the mentality of the team, is take it personal. Take it personal. That should be the mantra of anybody in life that want to get somewhere. Take it personal. If you got people that try to block you or get in your way, take it personal. Don't punch them in the face, what I'm saying. But I'm saying be motivated to understand what you need to do to get beyond them. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to get physical with them or nothing. Get mental with their butts. You don't have to out physical somebody. Just out mental their tails. That's all you have to do. And that works 3 times over than the physical action anyway. All right, Inevitable. Who that to you? Inevitable, good to see you as well. Well, you says Big Q with the old school Jermaine Jackson. Don't take it personal. I remember all that, man. I remember all that, brother. Oh, man. All right, let's keep it going. Adrian, good to see you in the chat, baby. Who that to you as well. Big ups to you. All right. All right, let me keep going here, fam. Let me get down here. All right. A lot of people in the chat. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all. Throat Cutter. What up, Throat Cutter? My dog Throat Cutter in the chat. What's happening, fam? All right. All right. Crass, man. Thank you for your super chat, Crass, if I didn't tell you, brother. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate it. All right. Okay, let's get on down here. William says the man league need to go ahead and make the roster 50, 55, or 56. Well, they're not going to touch the active roster, William. What they did is they kept it at 53, and what they did was they expanded the slots on the practice squad from what they were, I think it was 12 to 16, then gave you 4 protected slots on the active roster. Now, what that means is that you could protect 4 practice squad players. It don't matter who they are. That protect mean that nobody can come and pull those guys off your team. So they did do a protection of 4 people. A lot of people don't know that. So I'm just spreading that around the family members that they expanded the roster from 12 to 16 and created 4 protection slots, which that was an absolutely great idea. I love that idea of protecting at least 4 or 5. Me personally, I said 6. You should have at least half the active roster in protection from other players, so you can be able to actually develop talent that way and not have people to just come and pilfer your practice squad players away from you. You know, you can be able to protect them. I think half of the practice squad should be protected in that manner. But today, that's not a bad movement to go towards. So, interesting. All right, let's keep it going just to let you know, because a lot of people don't know that, man. A lot of people don't know that, family. All right. Let's see. Vontae, what up, Vontae? Who that to your fam? Says Ty Montgomery will be a hell of a weapon for us. I love it, bro. I think so, too. I think he'll be terrific, bro. Thank you for your comment there. Who that to you? Jose, what up, Jose? Jose Calderon in the building. Who that to you? Good to see you in the live chat, family. Much love to you, bro. Big ups. DLP says, what happened with Darius, guys? Yeah, well, you know, we covered his domestic violence charges that he had. You can feel free to look it up. We covered it on TSC Unleashed earlier today. If you want to know, you can go back and look at the show. We covered it, broke it down, ran over it. And he have a lot going on, man. He has some domestic violence charges that occurred recently that he's facing up in Virginia. The Redskins cut him. And then after that, some charges from 2016. His days with LSU surfaced on him around the same time, which people have a lot of questions about that. Rising up, so you never can tell, because they got games being played both kind of ways. You know, they got people out there preying on these athletes to get money off of them. We know that, and then and some of this stuff is they're actually doing this stuff. So time will reveal what's going on, but that's what's going on with this guy. So we'll see. Willie says Bill Cosby told on himself in the disposition. He admitted to it. Yeah, well, I mean, he in jail too, bro. And he did it. He needed to take his ass to jail. And that's what it is. He did it. Then that's where he belonged. And I told you, baby. And I told you earlier, baby. Don't touch them women like that, baby. Don't you do that to them women, and you don't do that to them with them babies too. You know, you might be playing boxing with them and all that, but all that other stuff, baby, don't hurt the children, baby. Don't do it to yourself. All right. Yeah, DLP say throwing his career away. We'll see. He could be facing jail time, bro. That's how big that is. Scoop says, smash the like button. Appreciate it, family. Crash says Fowler has really good speed, too. He's a 4-4 guy that can separate, a chain mover. He'll help Thomas and Sanders a lot. I'm looking at Fowler being a player in the wide receiver room. You can't help but to. They're going to trust the veteran guy. They really are. The guy has a Super Bowl ring. Emmanuel Sanders, his friend, likes him. And then Drew Brees championed for him to be on the team. You don't think that's good enough for at least the 3rd spot or the 4th spot? I'm serious. Drew Brees said, listen, I want him on the team, and they signed him. Come on. Drew Brees did, because Emmanuel Sanders couldn't do too much of nothing. He just made it on the team. You just got through the door. How you referencing somebody? It wasn't that. Drew Brees liked him because he worked out with him, said, listen, I want this guy on the team. Sean Payton said, okay. Next thing you know, you're on the team. You thinking that he ain't good enough for at least the 4th spot behind Taysom? And Drew said put him on the team? Listen to me now. This is relationship stuff too as well. Dada said, I believe Traycon will look better playing the speed deep guy with Winston. I agree with you, Dada. Thank you, brother. DLP says Traycon can stay healthy, then we may have something. Vontae says Benny Fowler will be very impactful. Thank you, Vontae. Back in Ant, who that to your fam says, what about Emmanuel Butler? Butler has been looking good. Remember day before yesterday, Monday, they were saying he was looking good at camp. But that's not a surprise, bro. Butler always looked good at camp. It's what it looks like when the lights turn on. And he has all the physical attributes, but does he take a step forward in the 2nd year? We'll see, because he didn't get any real-time game experience last year. There's no preseason games to help him get some game time experience. So I'm probably if it's not injuries, he might end up back on the practice squad again this year, which is not a bad place for him, because that just means he need more practice. I wish they could put P.J. Williams' ass on the practice squad, or put Justin Hardy on the practice squad, because they need practice bad, man. Especially Hardy, man. He need to get his stuff together at the cornerback position. I seen him. He was doing really well at first, and then he just started like going down. Like, man, damn, bro, you need to get better, or you're going to be going like what happened with Chris Banjo. Crash said teams will double Thomas and blanket Taysom. You still have Sanders and Kamara catching. Man, that's lethal weapons everywhere. It'll be like the years of Saints years of past family. You will see at least 40 receivers catch at least 4 receivers have at least 40 catches, like it was several years ago, when the Saints were just spreading the ball around. There was always somebody open. And if you blanketed Mike Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders will kill you. If you blanketed him, Mike will kill you. If you blanketed him, Jared will kill you. If you blanketed him, Kamara will kill you. If you blanketed him, this other guy. And that's how it went. They took times. Everybody took their shine on, got their shine on the Saints offense. Those days are back. They're back. DLP said Montgomery's a dark horse that might just do something in our offense if he can stick to our roster. Inevitably say we dangerous. Willie Bibbins says Traquan Smith worried about y'all. He says Trey Smith ain't worried about y'all. He caught the ball for the record. Go down in history with Drew Brees, so he ain't worried about y'all. LOL. All right. And I hope I answered that question about Emmanuel Butler, but I see him more as a practice squad player, as you know, and that's not a bad place for him. Thank you for that question. Now back in Ant. Wallace Smith, who that to your fam, says, what up, Q? What about Callaway and the defense in the? Okay, Callaway is doing this thing. Earlier this year, reports of him working as a kick return along with Deontay Harris, which is interesting because that's what he did for Tennessee. We know he's a guy that can catch it inside and outside, got good speed. He has good hands as well. One of his specialties is catching contested catches, and I really love that about him. But he's showing up too, so it's going to be interesting, man. I don't know what and I had high hopes for these guys, but when you throw Fowler in the mix, and then you think about it, how many wide receivers do the Saints keep on this team, on the active roster? You got 53 guys. Make your 53 and see how difficult it is for you to say, okay, I'm going to justify keeping 5 wide receivers. Or, they might go with 4. How many do they go with? And that answers a lot of questions. Can Marquez Callaway crack the active roster? Depends much on, the health of the guys above him, because I still see Fowler. And Fowler is a guy that will actually play because of the influence of Drew Brees and Emmanuel Sanders in this situation. So Marquez Callaway, man, we'll see. But at this point, if there's no injuries, he could be, a 5th guy, maybe a 4th guy, because you look at the guys and you say, okay, the Saints keep 4 or 5 wide receivers. Taysom Hill is as a quarterback. So you'll see wide receiver Mike, you see Mike Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders. Then, of course, Taysom's not going to be listed as a wide receiver. And then behind him, you got a guy, you have to challenge yourself, say, okay, whether it's Ben Fowler or it's Traquan Smith, those are 4, but do they keep 5? If they keep 5, I say there's a chance Marquez Callaway can get there. It really is. And then don't forget, it's not a bad thing to end up on the practice squad, because the Saints can then protect those guys, 4 of those guys, and a guy like Jawan Johnson and guys like that, Joe Bessie, if he doesn't make it, those could be protected players that you use, because you want to keep those skill players just in case you have injuries to your wide receiver core. So, we'll see. But I like him as a 5 receiver in there, because if whoever plays that 5th wide receiver position, if they open up 5 slots, even though we know Taysom is going to be playing at the wide receiver, he's not be listed as wide receiver on the active roster. He's going to be listed as a quarterback. But the wide receiver, if they do have a 5th wide receiver position, Marquez Callaway would be a good guy to put there, because he could help Deontay Harris in the punt return, kick return area. He can do that as well. And if you need him to slide in and play on special teams, he can do that as well. If you need to come in and play some reps in the game, he can do that as well. And I think that, this kid is special. So he would not be a bad pick if they keep 5 active wide receivers on the. He would be in one of the 5, because the 5th guy would have to play special teams in some capacity. All right, we're gonna do that. All right, let's keep it going. DLP says, thanks, BQ. I appreciate it. Yeah, just life, but all good. Glad to be in the house with the family. Appreciate you, bro. Throat Cutter, what up, Throat Cutter? Good to see your family. It's up there. My dog Throat Cutter in the building as well. All right, Brandon Cormier. Who that, Brandon? Crash says Pete was protecting Kevin Hogan. Q. Andrew Luck was okay. Thank you, Crash. I don't know why I kept saying Andrew Luck. Okay, Hogan. Okay, thank you for that, family. Thank you. I appreciate that. Vontae said he's a good wide receiver that will most likely make the team. Okay, speaking about Marquez, right? I do think that would be a good call, in my opinion, to keep it real with you, Vontae. About Marquez Callaway, Well, he says, Yeah. If he's was that didn't that to mention? I think he was mentioning Callaway. But that would be my call too, because he could do things. He could do different things. Jermaine Scobie, what up, Jermaine? Good to see you. Crest says I'm pulling for E. Butler though. He works hard, says all the right things, and is doing well at camp. I like the work ethic. Well, we'll see. Yeah, he is, bro. And it's tough, man, because the wide receiver position is so stacked. And then it didn't help the fact for those guys to making a team when they brought Benny Fowler here. I'll tell you one thing. Let's keep it going there. Paul says, hey, Q, can Payton bring somebody to come in and work with the guys to have more mental health and toughness and cognitive help? That's a good question, Paul. I would say that the Saints have pretty good mental health specialists on the team. If you notice, we don't have a lot of the problems, most teams have internally, unless they're suppressing a lot of the situations, which you can only suppress that to a degree. Sooner or later, you'll see it leak out. What was problematic and concerning for me is I've noticed that last year's Minnesota game, the playoff game, and I keep reflecting back to that because that's the last memory I had of my team on the field. That was the last game. So, of course, that would be pressing in your mind. And what pressing was the fact that I noticed that the breakdown, how they were fussing and arguing at each other on the field, shoving and pushing each other on the sideline. And I was like, well, whoa, that hadn't happened all year long. Why is that happening now? That was a question in my head. I was like, what is going on there? That's not happened before. You might have some guys that got out of line, but the manner of how it was and how the players wasn't checking, I was like, man, what is going on here? It was problematic that, it was real, and that's eye-opening. And I was like, man, what's going on there? Because you only seen that one time. Now, I can attribute that to it being an aberration, because we didn't see that happen the entire season up until the playoffs. Or you could say that was something perhaps the team was masking, and it was right below the epidermis level. You see what I'm saying? Right below the skin level, and maybe there are problems there. But based on what I know about it, I think they're doing a pretty good job. You bringing guys in with a winning culture, and as long as you got guys like Drew Brees, Cam Jordan, Mike Thomas, Elvin Kamara, Demario Davis, Malcolm Jenkins. These are professionals. They know what it takes to win, and they are captains of where they are in their position groups. And that's done so far as there are the examples of what you're supposed to do, and they teach and preach to the lower players or lesser players in terms of rank on the team what's the mindset and what it takes to be a professional. As long as you have multiple players like that on your team that's preaching, man, you're going to have a good team, bro. And that's why we continue to win, because we have high character guys that's in these positions, and these guys don't do nothing but live by example. They don't do all that old talking. They show you by example their work ethic, and that speaks more than a guy out there blabbing his mouth. You got to show people what time it is as opposed to just tell them. You got to live it. All right. Thank you for that question, bro, as well. Jermaine says, Big Q, will you live stream the first game where the fam can chat while the game is going on? That's not a bad idea, to be honest with you, Jermaine. I think we'll consider it, man. Start doing more of the live game, pre-games, and then leading into the live games. Those end up being real long shows. They'd end up being like 4-hour shows, because you'll do a 2-hour pre-game, and then you'll do a 2 or 3 hour, a 2-hour post-game, and then the game itself is like 4 hours or something, like 3 or 4 hours, whatever it is. So those are long streams. So we'll consider it, man. We'll consider it. Like what happened in Minnesota last, that was like an 8-hour live stream. You know what I'm saying? With me just cutting up on them. I might have to mute the mic, though, in certain places. Thank you for that. All right. Vontae says, yeah, Drew Brees vouched for him, so he will mostly make. Oh, no doubt about it, bro. He definitely do that. Okay, let's keep it going. Throat Cutter said, I've been chilling, fam, prepping for this battle. All right, I got you, Throat Cutter. I know you're doing it, bro. Good to see you in the chat, my brother. Big ups to you. Much love to you, cuz. Paul said, hey, Q Andrews could be a LaCharles Bentley or Jim Dombrowski, man. That's big words. Willie Roaf with the big ram at the other tackle spot. Yes. And that's not a bad parent. $57.5 million is a lot of money. $50+ million. What was it? A 5-year deal. 5 years, $50 million for Andrews Pete. So, and 33 of it's guaranteed. So he got paid. He got broke off. The Saints believe in Andrews. He's going to occupy that spot. And I can see great things for Andrews Pete. Freddie says, ain't Pete hurt? Yeah, he hurt right now, but 3 weeks they're saying. I say about a month before he comes back. Crass says, hit the like button, family. Thank you. Appreciate you, Crass. Brandon says, Pete, a dog in the run and getting better in pass protection. Only 25. People got to realize that. He only 25 years old. Ray Long says, Geis's career is over. It could be, Ray. He could be facing prison time, bro. If all that's true, he going his ass to jail. Shake hands with Bill Cosby or do a Corona bump or something. Because if he did all that, man, he going down, baby. All right. Crash says Sean Payton has recommended a bubble for the NFL playoffs. I like that idea. It's worked so far in the NBA. I got to give it to the NBA, man. They took a while to get it, but they did it the right way, man. They really did. And it took me getting used to seeing it. But ultimately, I started to see they did a damn good job. Got to give it to the NBA, man. You know, you watch some of these games. Now, they don't have this. They still hear the crowd. They still got the simulated crowd noise, but they did a good job of including the fans in the virtual section where they put the fans up there virtually. That was a pretty good use of their money and technology. But the NBA's been trailblazing. They've been doing a lot of great stuff. You know, they're very similar to the NFL, but they're a lot more soft and come off as soft and more adaptable and adjustable. You know, it's because these groups get their money from different things, so they got to act a certain way. You know, so I respect what the NBA doing. I really do. I like how they took this situation and turned it into something positive. But it's really strange to see a guy do a post game and he's standing 7-8 feet over there. This dude's standing over there, and they got a guy with a boom mic that's standing back, and he got it stuck up in the guy's face. You know, it's just amazing, man. The times we living in, bro. I tell you what, it's amazing, man. It's amazing because you go back last year before all this broke, and people was just like, you know, it was no such thing. You know, you would look at pictures of China and be like, man, what are they wearing all that stuff for? But now you look like they do, don't you? That might be it. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Kyle Walter, who that to you, Kyle? Big ups to your family. Good to see you. Iceman says, what do you mean when you say something wrong with that? I don't know what you mean by that, bro. JT says, hey, Q, which frequency are you going to be on? Will you own your AM or FM? I say FM. JT, FM, bro. FM. All right, FM, bro. And when it happened, y'all will be the first ones to know, bro. Thank you. JT putting it out in the air. I got you, JT. And I accept it, bro. I accept it. Trail Hatch, who that to you, Trail? Kevin says most cornerbacks panic on deep balls and forget their training. Go up at the highest point and compete for the ball. Well said, GM Kev. Spoken like a true GM. GM Kev hit that one on the money. He hit that one out the park, man. He said the cornerbacks, most of them panic on the deep balls and forget their training. Wow. The composure aspect, the ball coming, staying calm, not getting scared, and knowing that, listen, I got this. I'm made for this. I'm ready for this. The Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the CD Deuce, the artist formerly known as Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, you know, his confidence, that what kind of confidence? Man, I'm made for this. I'm ready for this, man. I've been playing in the field, and that's how you got to look at it. Ken Crawley, PJ Williams, all these other guys. I was in the field, man, you know, by myself, pretending I was Deion Sanders. You know, that's what they be thinking. And I was like, man, and I was going up against this. And you was a child in the park somewhere by yourself, pretending like you're being Deion Sanders, getting interceptions and running it back to win the game for him. Stuff like that. You got to go back and remember the process that took you here. You didn't just pop up there and you was there. It was a process that got you to that level. Have faith in yourself, young brothers. Have faith in yourself and remember the process that took you to get from where you are to there. Remember the process, you know? Remember that and have confidence in yourself and faith and confidence in the process. You got to. You can't be having fear, man. Fear, and that's you right on that, Jim Kev, because a lot of that is panic, and panic's a form of fear. Any of these emotions are incredibly dangerous, you know, especially to a productive mind and a progressive-minded person. If you're panicking and fearful, that's an impediment. And also, when you're feeling that attract the wrong type of energy. You bring on the stuff that'll cause errors to occur and for you to fail. You cannot panic and you cannot have fears, especially if you know who you are and who is behind you, who's propping you up, you should be able to proceed confidently. And you got to understand, a lot of these people don't have that spiritual connection. That's why we talk about that. People say, oh, well, Q. Oh, well, Q. No, man, listen. It's a part of it. That's what I'm saying. A lot of the errors in the character is caused because we missing that part. And you truly do yourself a major disservice by not investigating that aspect. I'm telling you, that aspect does not depower you. It empowers you. It makes you 2 times better than what you are now. And of course, like the coaches would say, every day, they'll tell you that. Every day we're just trying to get a little bit better. Not this better, but just a little bit better every day. Every day we take 1 step toward what we're supposed to be. And if you keep taking 1 step here, 1 step there, you don't have to take 5 or 10 or 100 of them in one day. Don't get me wrong. Some days you'll have a quantum leap where you'll take 50 steps. Some days you will not. One day it'll be a half a foot is good enough. As long as you're moving in that direction, you winning every day. And you got to understand there's a process to becoming great. You just don't work up great. It's a process. And you got to get that. And the earlier you get that, the faster you get that, you're going to see a lot of success. And I don't care what you're doing in life or where you are in life. Everybody could tend to be a lot better off and higher. And everybody got errors or stuff they won't correct about themselves or their finances or what have you. Well, how do you get there? It starts up here, baby. Because maybe you're not meditating enough. Maybe you're not opening your mind. Your mind ain't flexible enough. That's what I'm saying. If you have a hard mind, you're not going to receive the blessing or the instruction that you need to be a better person. And I often said to myself, for people like, man, well, how you know this, that, and the third? I asked for it. It's simple. I'm not no different. I'm not no special than nobody else. I'm the same as you guys. And I'm not more special. I ain't going to sit here and tell you no bull. I told my girl that. I said, man, listen, I'm not more special than nobody. I'm the same dude. I'm just the guy that asks why. And when I asked why, guess what the universe said the Most High did? He said, okay, you ready? Here you go. Here you go. And then it started coming. So if you have it, you got to first ask why and what you need to do, and you're going to open your mind to it, and you're going to receive it, baby. Bottom line, that's not spooky talk. That's real talk. Hear me now, put that to use and watch how most successful you'll be in your life at no matter what you want. And I know y'all want some stuff out there. I know y'all, I know you do. You won't get to here. You won't do this. You won't do that. I won't do this. I want to make this better. I want to do that. Well, try that and see how it changed your life around. Try it. All right, that's free, man. You don't have to buy no damn book for that. Kev, okay, thank you for that, Jim Kev. That was powerful, man. Ramsey says, will the real PJ Williams please stand up? Peanut butter and jelly Williams. Crash says Eli Apple didn't turn his head around either. Probably that's why he's not in. And that's the thing, bro. We look at tape just like they look at tape. You can't tell me if you don't whip your head around, you're not gonna be here. You're not. And I don't care if you're scared. If you scared, bro, if you scared, you don't need to be on this team. I'm sorry. I don't want scared people running around tiptoeing through the tulips. And I'm sitting up here talking the mantra of the team is what? What was the mantra, family? What was the mantra? Let's get behind that. Let's push that and project that into the minds of the great think tank and the Who Dat Nation and the organization itself. Let's push that out there and tell them, take it personal. Take it personal. How you taking it personal if you scared? I can't take it personal. I'm scared. He might take it personal against me. No, man. You have the wrong mentality. You cannot be scared. Don't have fear. I'm not telling you. Listen, having fear is necessary. Let's say, because I'm not saying all fear is bad. No, the Most High didn't give you these emotions for you not, say that they're bad will give you bad emotions. No, everything in excess is bad is what I'm saying. If you're drinking too much water, it's bad. You know what I'm saying? It's going to throw your body out of whack. You eating too much food, it's bad. Even though you need food to survive. You see what I'm saying? There's a balance to it all. So if it's too much fear, your fear must be balanced, which means held in check. How do you hold fear in check? Come on now. How do we hold it in check? A lot of people go to the spiritual edge, baby, and say confidence in the faith of the Creator, whereas my back and my protection is the reason why I shall not fear, right? A lot of people say, well, Q, I ain't from that school of thought. But regardless of where you come from, the principles still apply. It still apply. It really does. And that's what help you get beyond that. That's what keeps it in check. I'm telling y'all the truth. All right, DLP says our offensive line played terrible against the Vikings and playoffs. The D-line beat us down. They take it personal, That's what the bottom line is. Take it personal. Saints, take it personal. Jermaine, and I ain't gonna say Jermaine Jackson that thing because he said don't take it personal. Shut up, Jermaine. Kevin said, hey, Q, DC coming on the show tonight. Yeah, he going to be on the show tonight. He just called me, bro. Paul said, hey, BQ, what do you think about the Seattle player that got cut off for sneaking women in the locker room? What a fool, man. Being non-disciplined and following rules, called him, bust his opportunity up to be on the team. You see what I'm saying? You got to have discipline, family. You got to have discipline. People that don't have discipline, you're going to cut your blessings, man. That's what happened to that poor young player. Perhaps maybe down the line he'll get an opportunity with somebody else. But he'll suffer a little bit for that. Tro says his prior tape showed him showing him round off his routes sign, but who knows how much he has grown. Yeah. He gonna have to grow, bro. You know, I just think, you know, he just have to, it's a mental thing, man. He need to go back and really look at himself and piecemeal himself back together and look at what he's doing that's wrong, why he can't stay on teams. Because he's a good player, but these things, you cannot not look back for the ball. You can't do that, dude. If you want to stay in the league, you know how you stay in the league, get interceptions. They throw at him all the time. All he has to do is turn around and pick them. That's what I'm saying. And you see the tape, you see the footage. All right, JT says, don't touch the women and the kids. You don't want me to come there, General Honorary. That's right. Don't touch them children. Don't you do that to them women, man. Don't do it to them. Paul said, hey, Big Q, remember Vance Johnson? Yes, I do. And Mark Jackson Johnson was short and quick like Ernest Givens. I remember. Javier says, I hope Brady is running for his life September the 14th. Javier, what's up, fam? Ram says, hi, Q, how about letting Reverend Saint talk to the players on mental parts of the game? He probably need to say, baby, listen, I'm going to tell y'all all something here, baby. Cam, stop playing on your phone, baby. Cam, stop playing on your phone, baby. I'm talking to you, baby. Telling you, baby, stop playing on that phone, baby. Yeah, okay, you watching now. All right, baby. All right. What up, Demario? How you doing, baby? Let me talk to y'all today, baby, about mental health, baby. Let me tell you something, baby, about health, baby. I'm telling you, it ain't nothing to play with, baby. Mental health is real, baby. It's serious, baby. A lot of people dealing with it out here, baby. You know, I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to keep it real with you about this and stuff in here, baby. Listen, baby, I'm going to tell y'all something, baby. If you're having problems, baby, you come here, baby, and you talk to your teammates, baby. You let them know, baby. You talk to the doctor in there, baby. You let them know, baby. You need help working something out, baby. We don't have all the answers, baby. Let me tell you something, baby. If you talk to somebody that do, baby, they can help you, baby. But don't deal with it by yourself, baby, is what I'm saying, baby. You don't have to do that, baby. Don't do that, baby. Just remember, baby, they got people here that want to help you, baby. That won't see you prosper, baby. That won't see you do right, baby. You don't have to take it on by yourself, baby. That's all I want to tell you, baby. Who that to you, baby. All right, Reverend Saint, thank you for that. That's how Reverend Saint will talk to Cam and the rest of them. You know, Cam be playing a lot. He had to tell him to put his phone down a couple of times. Sad Scott, who that T says Peter's soft. We got one. Sad Scott said Peter's soft. But he has always played hurt. I think he will be a bad. See, I can't understand what is soft. Please tell me what is soft. Because playing hurt and soft is not the same thing to me. Are you saying he gets hurt a lot? That makes him soft? Or listen, if that's the case, then most of the people, Alex Anzalone, Davenport, all of them, you would consider soft. I don't think Davenport or Alex Anzalone is soft, or Andrews Pete. You can't. The mantra is when I played football, was they call players soft when they don't play through injuries. He's soft. He can't take it. That's what they would say. That's my understanding. I don't know. We come from different backgrounds, environment. I don't know if that's your definition of it. It's similar to mine. But mine is that the football nomenclature for the term soft when applied to a football player is saying that he can't stand up to the rigors of the season. And not that, but the second part, should be the first part, which is he doesn't play through his injuries. He's soft. He can't take it. So if he's playing through his injuries, and by that definition, he's not soft. So I don't get it, Sad Scott. Make me understand that, bro. Seriously, I want to know what you know. Pete is soft, but he always plays hurt. I think he will be back game one. Depends on thumb injury. He not throwing like breezes. That's a good point. Thank you for that. Jamal, who that to you? All right, as well. Ice Cream Man 504. What up, Ice Cream Man? Good to see you in the chat, fam. Much love to you. All right. Pelican says, Q, when you in the zone, you can't do no wrong. Everything works for you perfectly, and that's confidence due for you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Much love to you, family. And I just speak the truth, man. It come right from the heart, baby. And that's why a lot of family members, I hope, I kind of, I share a lot of stuff, family, but I really wanted to help you. If you could take anything what I said, and I know it's entertaining, a lot of stuff that I do, entertaining. I'm part comedian, by the way. Part comedian. But whatever I talk about, I just hope that, like, when I talk about stuff like that, please constructively take it and apply it if you want to. And maybe it can help you or something you might be going through. You never know. We all interconnected. We might be seeing some stuff and we might be looking for something, but I'm telling you never know where you can get some good information from. You might just be chilling out, listening to some sport talk and get a little inspiration there. If that's the case, that's fine. But I appreciate the love. Thank you for that, Pelicans Nola. Patrick Washington Jr., who that to you? Good to see you in the chat, family. Patrick Washington Jr., who that to you? Mr. Jerry says, are the Saints practicing tomorrow or Friday? Yeah, they'll be there tomorrow. Outdoors, full pads. Tomorrow we'll have it covered on Thursday. Thank you for the question there, Mr. Jerry. Jamal says, Reverend St. Thomas sneak women in. No, baby, no, baby, no. Telling you, baby. No, baby, I don't do that no more, baby. We don't do that, baby. Back in the day, baby, listen, baby, I used to have to go. That's like at the buffet line, baby, but I don't do that no more. I don't do that no more, baby. I don't have to say, drop that, if you want a winner, drop that chicken dinner. I don't have to do that no more, baby. I don't do it no more, baby. Appreciate you, though. Who that? Reverend Saint. Giant says, Big Q, number 37, look good out there today. 37, that's, isn't that Tony Jones Jr., the running back? I want to see that's Tony Jones Jr., bro. I did see some footage about him, bro. He runs strong. He's like a little bowling ball, man. Derek Washington better watch out. Remember, he fumbled on Monday. So Tony Jones Jr., a lot of people looking at Tony Jones Jr., bro. I don't know. Derek Washington better watch yourself. That's why I told Derek Washington, hey, bro, go run for the fullback position. Go try out for the fullback. I know you can beat that Burton, whoever that is, guy. He got a surefire way on the team. He don't have any competition. Derek, go and try against Burton and become the fullback, and you'll make the squad. And that'll make our offense even more diverse to have him there. Paul says, hey, Q, did LeJard and Humphrey get cut? No, he's still on the team, Brother Paul. He's still on the team. Tony Jones Jr. is a beast. Yeah, he is. Runs real low, bowling ball. The dude is something else. That's why, Dwayne, watch out. You better go do that fullback thing I said. But yeah, LeJard and Humphrey's still on the team, Brother Paul. But that's gonna pretty much be the end of the show, family. I appreciate y'all guys for chiming in. I'm gonna spin a few ads before I go. Got a Pelican post-game report coming up in a few minutes. I want to be able to, I kind of staggered the time on it so that we can be on it. I don't think we'll be taking calls on this show. We'll do one on the weekend, another Pelican post-game report on the weekend where we will take calls. And so we'll go into that. We'll check it out as well. So we'll check that out. But as far as the links, you can feel free to go to the Pro Shop, and it's 2 links in the description section below. And for the Pro Shop, hats, shirts, masks, all kind of stuff available at the Pro Shop. If you're interested in supporting the platform by picking up some gear, you can feel free to go there and check it out. And the links are in the description section below. The first link, a lot of the shirts and others and masks and stuff. The second link has the same stuff. The second link has the hats on it as well, and headgear, stuff like that. So you can feel free to check it out at the Pro. Also, Pro Radio is available for everybody there who knows the Pro Media Network. Pro Radio, Sports Coma, Pelican Post Game Report, Ring King Boxing, Tough Tiger Talk are all available in the audio formats of Spreaker.com/the Sports Coma Pro Radio. Link in the description section below as well. If you like the show, love the show, enjoy the show, and want to be a helper of the show, become a patron. A lot of the great Saint Think Tank members are patrons. And you can either do it 2 ways. You can go to patreon.com/the PRO Media Network and sign up to donate. You get access to unlocked content, locked content like the TSC Q&A shows that we do on Patreon. That's only for our Patreon and YouTube members. And also you can go to and become a YouTube member via our YouTube channel. And then, of course, one of the sponsors of the show is GetLifeMask.com. Several different masks. They're available. The Pelicans, Saints, and LSU masks are available at getlifemask.com. We had them to give us a discount where you can get 10% off at checkout time with the product code, the Sports Coma. Lowercase letters, the Sports Coma knocks off 10% off the price with Life Mask. So getlifemask.com and breathe easy. Once again, I'd like to thank all the beautiful Black and Gold family members chiming in on a very good and excellent episode of the Sports Coma as we recap a TSC Saints Day Camp Day number 2, updates, news, and notes. Tomorrow we'll return once again with another show recapping Day 3. We'll have interviews as well as insight on what's happening on the show, what's been going on with the team, and as well as we keep moving forward, getting closer and closer to the season. So once again, please hit the like button upon you leaving. We appreciate you. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. Please be safe out there. Much love to you guys. Please hit the like button. And remember, share the link, family. Always share the link on your social media. It helps out the platform exponentially. So I thank the family members for all that you do. Y'all been terrific, man. Much love to you. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number 1 sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the Sports Coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Payton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the Sports Coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma.